attacked him for not removing his hat during the national anthem at a county fair and rodeo in Montana, resulting in a fractured skull for the young boy. The Mind Unleashed reports that 39-year-old Kurt James Brockway launched his assault on the boy out of a belief that the boy had supposedly disrespected the national anthem. That's according to the Missoulian. The man was arrested and charged with assault on a minor for the attack that occurred at the Mineral County Fair and Rodeo. Taylor Hennick, a rodeo attendee, said she had just paused for the national anthem before hearing a sudden pop and then noticed a child bleeding out of his ears, seizing on the ground. As outraged bystanders quickly began surrounding Brockway, the man attempted to justify the assault by saying that, quote, the boy was disrespecting the national anthem by wearing this hat, end quote. The boy was airlifted for hospital treatment in Washington, where he received treatment for temporal skull fractures. The rapid and dangerous decline of the insect population in the United States, often called an insect apocalypse by scientists, has largely been driven by an increase in the toxicity of U.S. agriculture caused by the use of pesticides. That's according to a study published Tuesday. The study found that American agriculture has become 48 times more toxic to insects over the past 25 years and pinned 92% of the toxicity increase on the pesticides, which were banned by the European Union last year, due to the threat they pose to bees and other pollinators. The Mind Unleashed reports that Kendra Klein, Ph.D., study co-author and senior staff scientist at Friends of the Earth, said the United States must follow Europe's lead and ban the toxic pesticides before it's too late. According to National Geographic, they attack the central nervous system of insects, causing overstimulation of their nerve cells, paralysis, and death. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Delighted health insurance executives gather in an outdoor coliseum to watch a patient battle cancer. And a self-conscious flasher is fully clothed under his trench coat. This is the Onion Week in Review. While stressing that they would absolutely never consider doing anything of the sort, German leaders quietly admitted this week that they were pretty sure they could carry out another Holocaust if they ever truly wanted to. Quickly noting that the Holocaust was an atrocity that should never be repeated, no matter how easy it would be to do so, almost all members of the German parliament discreetly conceded that with their country's dominance of Eurozone GDP, pulling off the unthinkable genocide would not be the least bit difficult.
I'm just saying, hypothetically, that we very easily could do it. I mean, we definitely have the infrastructure, and the concentration camps are still standing.
In other news, a so-called Christian has an erection. A new study finds more children are growing up in single-parent households. And a real-life Nancy Drew traces the source of her HPV.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live. It's Free Talk Live, the live Sunday episode. You may dial in toll-free, and you can take control of the airwaves here. The number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Tonight, it's Ian here.
Richie Rich.
And Mark.
And, of course, you can bring up anything that you want. Mark, your laptop is dead, but you did have a story that you wanted to talk about last night. We never got to it. I think we teased it on the air about this Elizabeth Warren. She's one of the Democratic candidates for president. She says she's got a plan
In case y'all didn't know.
She says there's a lot of these candidates, so I
know, but
I don't follow it
She's
closely.
one of the bigger ones.
Plan on guns to reduce gun deaths by 80%, she claims.
That's a hell of a claim, 80%. I mean, it's not as specific as it could be, but it's a big number.
Well, you got to promise big if you're a politician.
She's going to reduce gun crime by 80%. Not gun deaths, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, because most of gun deaths are suicides. It's going to be gun crime?
I don't know. That was a story you brought in, so we can get into that. Plus, Richie, you brought in a very strange story about people who don't wash.
Yep. The
And
non-bathers.
yeah, and I kind of feel like that's just so unusual. I feel like we should start with that one here tonight because, we've talked a lot about gun control, and that's an issue that will come up again and again in the future. We can get into it later. But I want to know about people who actually have quit taking showers. I presume that's who we're talking about here, right?
It's quite a hobby, not bathing.
Yeah, well, it saves you 15, 20 minutes a night if you
Right, all 15 right.
Hey.
15 or 20 minutes of my best time during my day, mind you, being in the shower.
So I don't smell. Meet the people who have stopped washing. This is the interesting part, right? The subheadline. A growing number of people are eschewing soap and trusting bacteria to do the job instead. And an entire industry has sprung up to accommodate them. So
Industry? I mean...
Meaning people who want to sell them stuff.
Like
probably.
what? Yeah, I mean, clearly they don't need soap, shampoo.
Sure, yeah. And there was, I don't want to say like a period of time, but I do, the whole dreadlock culture for hair is really not washing your hair. That's how you get dreadlocks.
As I understand it, that's how that works.
And then salt water, tightens the dreads and whatever. So it's not, and I don't think, that is a particularly smelly. Just when I'm hanging out with people that have dreadlocks or the one dread, I'm not offended by the smell of their hair. So it's not,
I haven't noticed that either, any smell, but that's different because you still get your hair wet.
Sure. Yeah. And we'll get
I
into
imagine these people that don't bathe are actually not bathing. They're not going in the shower and just getting wet. They're just not doing anything.
Partially.
Okay.
So
let's hear.
Yeah, okay. David Whitlock has not showered or bathed in 15 years.
All right. So showered or bathed in 15 years. Got it.
Yet he does not have body odor.
Did someone check that?
I'm sure. That's the thing, right? I'm sure someone would have mentioned it to him at some point, unless he doesn't go out.
No. See, this is the thing: is that the reporter, ring. Hi, David. I'd like to do an interview with you over the phone.
Yeah,
oh,
was it in person or was it over the phone?
I'll trust the reporter if the reporter goes in and said, "Dave, lift up the arm. You claim you don't smell.
After 15 years, you wouldn't have to lift the arm up. I mean, in theory, you should be able to smell it emanating from wherever.
Right. Because that's a big thing in the convention circles and the video game circles is don't come into the convention with your obnoxious, I've been in my parents' basement for a month body odor.
Is that a thing?
It's a thing, right?
Do they give out deodorant in the gift bags at the start of the convention?
That I don't know, but I do know
Sponsored by Old Spice.
Some of it is the warning sign, no foul body odors.
Have you been to one of these big video game conventions?
I have not. I wish there were more.
Then how do you know it's a thing?
Look at this video game. Look at this butt crack.
Well,
look at this gamer.
Because I read a lot of articles.
You just heard that.
Yeah,
okay.
no, I read the articles.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
It's a problem at video game conventions. It's a problem at tournaments.
What about Star Trek conventions?
I would imagine it'd be worse. I don't know.
I've been to comic book conventions. There've been Trekkies there, and I don't recall any incidents, but I do remember a guy who would come into the comic book store that we commented on him.
Up.
Yeah, we really did. Yeah, we commented on him.
Did you ever say anything to him? Dude, you can't come in like this?
No.
You're running all the other customers out of the store.
But his... he went to New College, which I know of.
It's a hippie college.
Of which I know you are familiar.
Yeah.
Because you and I are from the same place, Sarasota, Florida. And his... What do you call them? What do you call fellow students? Two of them worked at the comic book store at the time. And I remember the description. One of them lived down the hall from him.
I think you would call them
dormitory.
Comrades.
Comrades, yes. His comrades. He lived down the hallway from him, and he said, yeah, he I don't know if he bathes, but he somehow wets himself in the morning. So there's a double entendre to that, yeah.
Spritzes it on. All right. It was kind of strange for the first few months, but after that, I stopped missing it, he said. If I get a specific part of my body dirty, then I will wash that specific part.
Sure.
But never with soap. As well as germs, soap gets rid of the skin's protective oils and alters its pH level. So although Whitlock appreciates gaining an extra 15 minutes a day from soap dodging, see, told you, it's about 15 minutes. His primary motivation was to encourage friendly microbes to live on him in symbiotic harmony. The bacteria gets to feast on the ammonia from his sweat, and he gets low-maintenance, balanced skin. Just an awareness.
It sounds too good to be true.
Well, we want to start an experiment?
I find it to be fascinating. Like, if you could get away with not using all these various different products that, they want you to use, and it actually somehow works. Like, and I don't know if they get into this in the story because it is a pretty detailed piece. Because I'm curious, is there like a long period of where you have to stink real bad in order to like even out somehow? And like, does it? I don't get it because
I would assume so because if you don't shower for a few days,
it's going to get bad. Yeah,
right. But again, like I'll go back to the hair because I've never had dreadlocks, and I don't have any right now.
Mm-hmm. You could dread that beard.
I'm waiting for it. But that's the thing, right? I product the beard, right? I got shampoo and conditioner and skip the head.
Well, I can see you're firmly in the clutches of big soap.
Yes, absolutely.
It's Ian trying to break free from
I'm
big
fascinated
soap.
by it. I mean, I enjoy taking a shower or whatever, but if you could avoid it, it is a time saver, right?
But here's the thing.
Look, my time isn't quite that valuable. There's some things I'm willing to just go crazy and spend some time on, and bathing is one of them.
Mm-hmm. One of the products that I used as a kid, because my dad, had a little tube of it after he showered, right, was a little tube of like VO5 hair oil.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And you put on the hair oil, right, to re-oil your hair. And why do you need to do that?
Because you're washing.
Because you just washed all the natural oils out.
Yep.
So, you think you wash all the oils out, then you put another product to re-oil it, or you just don't wash the natural oils out, and then that's how your hair, stays preen and shine. And if you comb it and brush it and take care of it in other ways aside from washing out all the natural oils.
when I was a kid, I was skipping the hair washing part of the shower, basically, and my parents figured it out because my hair got really oily and looked terrible. So, I mean, it doesn't seem like a desirable effect.
Well,
like, it looks bad once it gets really oily.
An ex-co-host here on the show, Stephanie Murphy, stopped washing her hair. Now, that means she didn't stop washing her body. Didn't mean she stopped running water through her hair. She just stopped using product on her hair. And she has amazing hair. It's that kind of like,
curly,
pretty tight curls, but not quite, an afro kind of wave to it. And it went to sort of more, I don't know, oily looking.
So wait,
but
she
not
ran
bad.
water through it, but just didn't use product.
But, for me, so what her claim was that she, more or less her hair, first it gets oily and then it gets sort of normalizes after that.
Huh.
Because your body no longer overproduces it.
That's the overproduce. That's the term she used. Yeah.
I can imagine that. Yeah.
Tell me more.
All right. Just an awareness of the importance of the gut microbiome has led to a boom in probiotic and fermented foods and supplements. There's an increased interest in our skin microbiome, the trillions of microbes that protect us from pathogens and keep us healthy by making vitamins and other useful chemicals.
You can turn your body into a bottle of kombucha.
855 450 free. We're going to learn more about this. Are you one of these people, if you're out there and you don't, do you go into the shower?
Stop fermenting and give us a call.
Yeah,
1-855-450-3733. That's 855.
Free Talk Live.
She's such a beautiful little puppy. I mean, we walk around the block and neighbors always say, her hair is so beautiful.
Healthy and shiny and glossy. DINOVITE.com.
Fatty acids, omega-3s, and omega-6s are great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
I would really recommend people starting their puppies on Dynavite before they get into what I would call the misery index. Bad skin, bad ears, bad breath.
Because if they're getting all their vitamins, micronutrients, microbials from the beginning, then you're not going to run into the problems associated with the allergies,
grass, pollen, dust, dirt, fleas, ticks, you name it,
and the itching and shedding down the road.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
Dynavite for life.
This is Ed Lukasevic
and Cindy Lukasevic,
inviting you and your pets to Dynavite.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, If you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live. The toll-free number if you want to join us here, especially if you want to tell us about your bathing habits or the lack thereof, because we're talking about people who've called it quits on soaping themselves, basically, or maybe even getting in the shower at all.
The guy said he hadn't bathed or showered in 15 years.
But will wash a dirty part.
Yes.
It becomes dirty.
Whatever that means. So we're going to get into more about people who are kind of allowing the claim, I guess, is that they're allowing their bodies, microbes, was it, to somehow fight off the bad microbes? It's
symbiotic relationship with the bacterial and microbes that.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that you wouldn't be stinky if you didn't shower, but I guess the argument is that it's the showering that makes you stink down the line because of the imbalance that it is.
Right, so it beats them back. Then they grow, especially if they're sweating stuff. They grow back with a, they have to refill. I mean, I suppose it's possible. I don't have an answer. I do know that I hung out with a sort of a hippie clique for a little while, and one of the gals had decided she was going to stop bathing, and some people claimed about her odor. I never noticed anything, but
they claimed she didn't have an odor, or she did have an odor?
They complained about her odor.
Complained, I see. So if you want to join us, the toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Now, whether or not you're going to stop taking showers, you ought to continue brushing your teeth.
Yeah, that's important. You don't want you're not going to come to a happy balance with the biome in your mouth.
But the good news is there's a really great product from
you
My
might
Magic
actually
Mud.
if you consume the right foods all the time, you might come to a better balance in your mouth, because it's the sugars and stuff that really get you.
Well, My Magic Mud's a completely natural product.
Yeah.
It's black tooth powder. It's made of charcoalized coconut shells and bentonite clay. So you do get away from that sort of mega corporate chemical based stuff that we all grew up with. This is clinically proven to whiten teeth. Mark, you swear by the product. I use their toothpaste. I think it's great.
Right. I like cleanliness inside and out, and I think oral health is important. It's probably the most important thing that you can have in your life, because oral health means a long life. It means hanging out with the people you want to hang out with, because nobody likes to hang out with somebody with a gross mouth.
And you can get it at a bunch of different health food stores like Sprouts, CVS, Natural Grocers, and even Walmart's Natural Beauty aisle. But why bother going out when you can just go to mymagicmud.com and then use code FTL20, that's FTL like Free Talk Live, code FTL20 to save 20% off of your order at mymagicmud.com.
Just go ahead and get it. It is a great product.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who was disappointed. I mean, we've had a bunch of co-hosts try it, and they honestly love the product.
Yeah.
So.
Have you ever heard me endorse a product like this? If
No.
if you only listen to one thing I say, buy My Magic Mud.
At mymagicmud.com with code FTL20. All right, Richie, let's keep this thing going.
All right.
Where were we on this story? And this is the Guardian. Is this the Guardian?
Yes, the Guardian.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Making vitamins and other useful chemicals is where we left off. That's why you don't want to get rid of those things. In this unprecedentedly sanitized era, in which eczema, acne, and problems associated with dry skin are rife, consumers are hungry for solutions. Even the mainstream brave Dove claims vaguely that its products are microbiome gentle, whatever that means. Sarah Ballantine, a medical biophysicist turned author and lifestyle guru known as the Paleo Mom, has been an advocate of living in a more Stone Age, quote-unquote, way since reaching a healthy weight after adopting the paleo diet. She, too, uses only water to wash, even though she is at the gym sweating buckets.
Well, hold on. Now, the dermatologist told me years ago to not use a whole bunch of soap to wash. Basically, don't the whole take a wash rag, rub it on a bar of soap, and then soap your whole body up thing.
Mm-hmm.
That he's like, no, don't do that.
Don't do that?
Don't do that. And
what was he suggesting you do instead?
Rub spots that are dirty.
Like these people apparently do.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't use soap on my body either.
Huh. Really?
Yeah, I haven't for many years. I mean, 20 years, Ian.
No kidding. So you're one of these people then?
I guess. I mean, I don't think so.
Come to find out.
So, okay. My plan is simple and very easy, right? I use some shampoo on my head, and then I take the extra shampoo and rub it on my face and shave.
Yeah.
I then take the extra of the shampoo that I have left from my head, and I stick it in the spots that stink, right?
Huh.
And, so it goes in the pits, it goes in, all the creases. And other than that, I just sort of rub spots, try to get in between the toes because some stuff will accumulate there. But you just use water and it comes out.
So here's my general understanding.
So you're like halfway.
I guess.
You're kind of halfway to these full-on.
Never considered it.
No soapers.
But I still have eczema.
Here's my general understanding of how you get things clean, right? Whether it's clothes or dishes, because I've been a dishwasher and I still work in a
restaurant. You got to have some friction to get something clean.
That's the thing. Yeah. What actually cleans products is hot water and scrubbing.
Right.
All the soap does is create an environment that relieves the hot water and the friction, from occurring when you're doing the scrubbing.
Right. So soap chemically binds to things.
Right.
It's a what are they? Is that covalent? I don't know. I shouldn't be talking about chemistry that I took courses that I took 30 years ago. But
and then rinses it away.
Right. It'll bond to dirt and then it's easier to sort of rub off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, try cleaning something with soap, try cleaning without, and you'll see the value of soap.
Right, but you can, again, from working in a kitchen, you can also clean pots and pans without soap.
Things that are made of metal and things that are made of glass, they're pretty non-porous, so it's hard to get them to things to sort of stick in the cracks. Now, you can bake on some stuff that you need to soak off, but you're going to need to do that whether you have soap or not.
You get one of those metal scrubbers.
Yeah, right.
Tear right out.
What's softer?
That's scraping it off.
What's softer, the pan or your hand? They're both rubbing against the metal thing.
But even when you're cleaning your body, right, you're scraping off,
you're scraping off
layers
skin
of
cells.
dirt skin anyway.
Yeah.
So the soap in this case is just an added benefit, but you can clean with hot water and enough scrubbing.
Mm-hmm.
So in Mark's case, without the soap, you got the stinky spots, and you scrub off enough of whatever's over there. Whether or not you're using soap is irrelevant if you do a good enough job with the motion of scrubbing.
I see. Let's go on.
All right. She uses coconut oil to shave, and that's it. Over time, my skin has adjusted. I don't smell. She is working on a book about the human microbiome, and it's convincing her odor-free armpits are a sign that her skin microbiome is healthy. Jackie Hong, a reporter in Yukon, Northwest Canada, has eschewed soap in the shower for 9 years. I use my hands to scrub myself and get off any grime, but I'm sitting in court or at my desk most days, so it's not like I'm getting bombarded with filth. She is curious to go without soap after an artist told her he hadn't lathered up in 20 years. She said she saves time and money and needs a lot less body lotion.
Well, I mean, I don't know what you're spending on lotion in a given month, but I can't imagine it's a heck of a lot.
Lotion. A lot of women are into their lotion.
Yeah, but lotion at Walmart, I mean, when you're getting the Vaseline intensive care or whatever.
Maybe they're getting some fancy stuff.
$250 for a big tub of it.
Body Shop or something, I don't know.
Yeah, they could be. Well, lotion's one of those things you can spend as much as you want.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll tell you whatever lies you'd like to hear about your lotion in order to sell you a $50 thing of lotion.
How long? What I want to know is how long you have to go being really stinky before this stuff starts to even out. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. It is Free Talk Live.
Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring Simon to the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, Hey, who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video or audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today. This is...
You ain't going to make it.
Wait now. Wait a minute.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Why are you running from me?
Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, if you want to join us here. We're talking about cleanliness. We're talking about habits of washing certain parts versus not. Some people say they haven't actually used soap in decades. Yep. And they say that it actually works for them, that it somehow creates a natural skin condition with whatever microbes that fight off bad microbes or something. I'm not a scientist.
It all sounds like hooey to me.
But yet you say you're one of them.
It turns out I'm one of these people.
Yeah.
What a revelation that was.
I didn't realize it.
So if you want to comment, you can join us here. Our number is 855-450-FREE. And I want you to know about Liberty.menu. If you are an individual who rejects the initiation of force and agrees to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle, you ought to get on over to Liberty.menu, where you can list the business that you're in, the digital content that you create, the event that you might be involved in organizing or promoting. All of those things are categories that you can list over at Liberty.menu. There's a handy map that'll show you physical locations of freedom-friendly businesses. So if you care about liberty, you ought to be listed over at Liberty.menu. And by the way, it is free to use Liberty.menu, although there are some upgrades available for your listings. If you feel like it, you can throw a few bucks at the site and get those upgrades. Plus, you can use code FTL on your listener, or on your user profile, rather, and that will indicate that you are a Free Talk Live listener. It's Liberty.menu, because there is a bit of a social networking aspect, and of course, ratings and reviews. That's Liberty.menu. As we continue here, let's go to your calls and thoughts, and then you've got more from the story, Richie, on these folks who are done with bathing. They say it's counterproductive. Let's go to Michael in New York. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Michael.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, what's on your mind tonight?
So I wanted to comment on the story of these people who aren't showering for 15, 20 years, whatever.
Yeah. Well, some of them are saying they're not using soap, but they are still getting under hot
rinse.
water. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like that's a big difference.
Me too.
Yeah. So with soap, well, yeah, it does bind. Like I want to say Mark said, scrubbing works just as well. I'm not nearly as extreme as these people, but I'll go 2 weeks, and I've had no issues. If anything, I've gotten rid of my severe eczema. It's impressive stuff.
So you said you'll go to the phone kind of cut out. You said 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks about.
And without doing what? In that 2 week period, what are you not doing or doing that would be different from a normal plan?
I won't do like a full scrub everything kind of shower. I'll still go under hot water and all that, but...
Hold on. So meaning you won't scrub with no soap, or you won't scrub with soap, but you'll scrub?
I'll scrub, but I won't use soap.
Okay, gotcha.
And you said 2 weeks and it clears up some of the skin conditions you were having.
Yeah. I have really bad eczema on my arms, and it's cleared up.
Yeah, I had some kind of rash, and this was 20 years ago. Went to the dermatologist. He took a little sample of it, like it's like a I don't even know, a hole punch into my skin. took a sample of it. He said, "Yep, this is some dry skin. This is what we call a dermatitis, son." And his prescription for this was stop using soap. And I haven't used soap in that area generally, and if it doesn't grow hair, I haven't rubbed it with soap in a long time, and I don't really that spot cleared up long ago. I don't even think about it anymore.
See, but you exercise, you do jiu-jitsu classes, and you get all sweaty there, and still just wash and scrub.
It's just sweat. I mean, it's just water. As a matter of fact, sweat doesn't stink. It's the things that eat the sweat that stink when they die. There's short little lifespans.
Huh. So that's interesting. So it's actually the smell of death on you, basically.
Yeah.
Michael, anything else you want to share tonight?
No, I think you guys just about covered it.
Thanks for the experience. Appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE.
I can't believe I'm sitting here being the proponent of alternative lifestyle. I mean, I am so not the proponent of alternative lifestyles.
just so happens that you're living one. Without
turns
really
out.
knowing. Yeah.
Well, our chat room definitely has some opinions that I can't really share on the air about this. If you want to jump into
certainly words that you cannot use on the air.
Our Discord server, you can go to discord.lrn.fm and you can join in there. The folks hang out in there and chat about stuff basically 24/7. All right, well, what else? There's a lot to this story.
There's a lot. So now we get to some expert opinions here. There's nothing wrong with.
If you haven't used soap in 15 years, I'm going to consider you an expert on the subject because that's a long time.
So people who do use soap are experts in bathing with soap?
This is a dermatologist. Sandy Snotnicki, a Toronto-based dermatologist and the author of the 2018 book Beyond Soap. I've talked to people who haven't used any kind of detergent in years, and they're perfectly fine. She says that since 1950, we have gone from bathing once a week to every day. Has that changed our skin microbiome? I think the answer is yes.
I can't see how it wouldn't. Yeah.
And has that caused...
By the way, anytime anybody uses the term microbiome, I'm presuming they're lying. Just go ahead.
Okay. Do you want me to stop using it? I don't know.
No, I don't care. You're just reading.
And that has caused a rise in inflammatory skin diseases. I think the answer is yes, but we don't know. For Whitlock, a former chemical engineer based in Cambridge, Massachusetts, not washing has been a serious science experiment.
Cambridge, Mass. That just screams Democrat.
Because those are the ones that don't wash?
Yes.
Are Democrats more likely to not use soap?
Yes.
Says the registered Republican.
Yes.
Not washing has been a serious science experiment, the success of which has led him to become a trailblazer in a skincare revolution in soap-free, microbiome-friendly, and probiotic products.
Jesus, I hope that's not on his business card. Pioneer in soap-free what the blood?
Well, this is where it's going to get. I don't know if I'm going to get to answer your initial question of how long does it take, because I read ahead a little bit and I didn't see it. His inspiration came from researching why horses roll in dirt. His conclusion: to top up their ammonia metabolizing bacteria, making the skin less susceptible to infection.
Okay.
Whitlock
I would have thought it was to give the, parasites hell.
Whitlock had hoped that he would naturally acquire this type of bacteria simply by stopping washing.
He didn't roll in dirt?
Well, no, yeah. So he didn't roll in dirt. However, this is where they get science experimenty. He didn't and grew.
If he didn't roll in dirt, it doesn't sound like science to me.
Well, the science experiment was why horses did it, to get this ammonia metabolizing bacteria. Here's the only thing that comes up for you, Ian. He didn't and grew quite pongy, which...
Is that a term for stinky?
Yeah, I had to look that up during the break.
Okay.
Yeah, basically it's pungent and strong smelling.
Must be British slang.
I don't even guess. Because it's the Guardian?
Yeah.
So he harvested bacteria from the soil at a local farm and fed them with ammonia and minerals. When they turned the ammonia into nitrate, he knew he had what he wanted and started narrowing them down to a single strain that seemed happiest on human skin. After he applied the bacteria he had cultured, the stuff the horses were apparently after, he stopped smelling. So there you go.
Wow.
So the way to get rid of the smell of not bathing
is to buy his product.
Buy his product.
It's genius. Absolute genius.
Now, do you have to use it for the rest of your life or just for like a week while
I wouldn't think you would.
Evens out your biome thing?
No, it's going to live there and it's going to reproduce. If it's happy, then it's going to be there for a while, and then you may have to go back and spritz it up every once in a while. But no, I'd say
Mark just killed his market. After co-founding the company AO Biome in 2013, Whitlock launched it as a spray. Mother Dirt AO Plus Mist, billed as containing ammonia.
Mother Dirt is the name of the product?
That's what it says. Mother Dirt, Mother Dirt AO Plus Mist, billed as containing ammonia oxidizing bacteria, a peacekeeper that once existed on our skin but was cleaned away with modern hygiene and lifestyle.
Wow. 855-450 free. 855-450-3733. One of our chatters says, do they hang out with the flat earthers?
I don't know, Mark, do you?
You can join us here if you want to share your thoughts on not using soap. It's Free Talk Live.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
If you owe money to the IRS, you need to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. It starts with a devastating letter, and if you don't act immediately, you could find yourself having your wages garnished or have a lien placed on your property. But there's a solution. Tax 10,000 can help. Avoid enforced compliance, where these holds on your income and seizure of your home could become a nightmare that just won't end. Call 800-239-9957 now and speak to one of our experts. 800-239-9957 is the number to link you directly to a tax resolution specialist who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, all the forms will be handled for you. All you have to do is make the toll-free call. 800-239-9957. Find out if you qualify and possibly save yourself thousands of dollars, not to mention a lot of headaches. It could be the best call you've made today. That number again, 800-239-9957. The service does not provide tax settlement or legal services. We will refer you to a company that does provide such services. Often the IRS will not agree to any reduction in the amount owed. Not all taxpayers who owe more than $10,000 will qualify for a tax reduction program.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
Yep, it's Free Talk Live, and you can bring up whatever you want here. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. Coming up, gun control proposal made by a Democratic candidate for president. We can get into the details on that. With you here tonight, it's Ian.
Richie Rich.
And Mark.
We're talking about this strange story that maybe more people agree with this than I realize. As it turns out, Mark here in the studio says he hasn't used soap regularly across your whole body, at least for many years. You will use it, is that right, in certain parts?
On the parts that stink, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's it.
Right, I just take the shampoo off the top of my head and rub it in those spots.
So you don't even use soap. You just use the shampoo. You don't have anything extra beyond.
Well, shampoo
beyond
is
that.
soap.
Yeah, sure.
It's detergent.
Yeah.
I use a washcloth on my feet.
Okay.
But it doesn't have soap on it.
Got it. And Richie, you've been sharing the story from The Guardian that's, interviewing a variety of people who are kind of into this, I don't know if you want to call it a culture or thing that lifestyle, yeah. So tell us more.
All right. So now we're getting into like the products that these people use in lieu of. As most people still want to take showers and purchase nice products for their skin, the Mother Dirt range now includes hair, face, and body washes free from preservatives and detergents. Michelle Strutton, a global beauty analyst at the research firm Mintel, says that while probiotic skincare has a low market share, it has increased more than 300% from 2015 to 2019.
Impressive. I wouldn't doubt it either. It's a good idea.
So it's definitely an area that's worth watching.
This will sell, okay?
Oh, it is. That's the thing.
Yeah, the as opposed to, hey, let's all of us stop taking showers, okay? That is an idea that doesn't sell.
I don't think it would sell with many people.
Let's do the things that we currently do and exchange them for products that are designed scientifically. Of course, you got to always watch for these terms. But, the guy claims. So, products that are designed actually to be good for our skin as opposed to sort of retrofitting things to solve problems that are created by using bunches of detergents that we shouldn't have been using in the first place.
Oh, yeah. Read the ingredients on your shampoo bottle versus whatever Mother Dirt is carrying, just as you would read the ingredients on your toothpaste.
Yes,
right before using My Magic Mud.
Going to be endorsing Mother Earth next week.
This could be if they call it for an advertisement. I'm sure you'll talk to them. For example, the French brand Gallienne uses lactobacillus bacteria deactivated by heat, while La Fleur, a U.S. brand soon to launch in the U.K., suspends microbes in a gel matrix. What exactly makes a product?
Sounds really fancy.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's what sells.
Gel matrix.
What exactly makes a product microbiome friendly or probiotic, however, can be hard to pin down.
Yeah, this is just as
probably
easily,
a bunch of BS in this category.
Be cow poop, yeah.
Well, that's why he said, if you use the term microbiome, forget it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. There isn't a whole lot of definition for things like natural probiotics, says Kit Wallen-Russell, the co-founder of the British startup Jumo.
We need the government to come in and make a bunch of rules.
That's what the organic people did. They regretted it.
Yep. And here you go. There's no regulation in the cosmetics industry.
It's like anarchy.
Which means it's the Wild West for companies saying their products do certain things.
You'd think the Wild West would have been bad historically for like murders and stuff like that. No.
Turns out not so much.
You know what's bad? Places in the United States that have gun control.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are bad.
Okay.
Baltimore, Chicago.
Yeah.
We can talk about that when we get into that article.
LA.
Yeah, we can get there.
Okay. Because Hawaii is a very special case.
You can't even hunt a hog there.
Right. But, okay, we'll get into it later. Jumo's products do contain live cultures, but they are preservative-free, and Wallen-Russell says creates the conditions for microbes to be extracted from the environment. Hard evidence is lacking in this field.
Mm-hmm.
There are no studies demonstrating the negative effects of soap or overwashing.
Really?
Don't know. That's what
Who's going to pay for it?
Certainly not the Dial.
Ivory comes out, Dove comes out with a new article. Hey, you don't really need this stuff.
Mother Earth is the only one that's going to benefit from it, and they can't afford it.
Right. Huh.
It sounds like some people just say and pass around like, well, that makes sense to me, says Julie Segre, a senior investigator in microbial genomics at the National Institute of Health in the U.S. She says there is limited medical evidence for the efficacy of skincare targeting the microbiome.
Well, there's one I mean, look, sure, it would be great to have medical evidence. But if it's indeed true that these people, if they're not BSing you, if they're telling the truth when they say, I haven't used soap in 15 years, and you're able to sit 3 feet away from them and not smell this horrible stench, then that's some pretty strong personal evidence right there, if that's true.
Well, and it's also something that's easily duplicated in your own personal life, right? You could
try it.
You could try it for as long as you think you can get away with it or tolerate it, or until someone goes, bro, you gotta stop doing this, right?
Yeah. So and you're not getting into our bed that way.
Mm-hmm.
Or coming into my house.
But as soon as my ammonia levels on my skin get rid of this stench, right? Then all of a sudden it's okay.
Spray some Windex on there. That'll take care of it.
Febreze. My position is there is a lot of promise in this field, but we need a lot more basic science. Even her own clinical work with childhood eczema, she says there is a long way to go before microbes could become part of medical intervention, although that is not to say there is no potential. Segre singles out the possibilities of prebiotic ingredients where you put creams on your skin that can help the beneficial microbes grow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
While Mother Dirt as a cosmetic brand makes no health claims, its owner, AO Biome, is a pharmaceutical company running clinical trials on a surprising array of treatments, not only acne, eczema, and rosacea, but also allergic rhinitis, hypertension, and migraine.
So they're hoping that their products can help people with acne.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's been a struggle for so many people. I mean, not just young ages, but even older ages. And a lot of the theories of that is that your skin's getting clogged, so you need to clean it. But they're saying maybe they've got a different approach.
Yeah, and I've never had a big problem with acne, but I remember all the treatments that were used was like alcohol based that dries up your skin even more to to dry it out and clean it out. And didn't seem like the results were there with the people who had acne. They seemed to always have acne
and none of it helped me. Whatever various different treatments I tried when I was a teenager and even into my 20s, it cleared for me after I moved to New Hampshire.
Okay.
So I don't know if it had to do with the humidity down south or what it was, but it just went away.
Well, I know my wife is having skin issues since we've made the move because of the lack of humidity here.
I see.
Her, natural skin, whatever, was more acclimated to the Hawaiian climate than here. So we now have like a humidifier to help her out, and she's got all kinds of products. And me, nothing. I didn't use products back home. I don't use anything now. Aside from the basics, soap and water. And
so is there more that you thought was worth sharing in this story? I mean, because I don't know if we're getting off into the weeds too much here.
No, we can. There's, like I said, nothing answered your question as to how far, aside from using his product. So if you want to move on, that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I still am curious to know, from people that have gone through this process, because I find it fascinating. I mean, if I could avoid having to soap up my entire body in the shower, that would save a minute or whatever. I mean, it doesn't take that long to do it, but if it is actually somehow damaging, I mean, I'm grateful that I don't have any skin conditions of which to speak, but it's certainly possible that one could develop one from having dried out skin. Yeah,
and I know for me, I bathe regularly, not necessarily every day, but I also avoid deodorants. For the most part,
you do or don't avoid.
I do avoid.
You do avoid.
I don't wear scents on a regular basis, but occasionally before coming to the studio, I will spritz. And my wife goes, "Well, what are you spritzing for? Like, who are you trying to impress? Right, exactly. I go,
Mark,
I'm in a room full of dudes, man, and I don't want to be the guy that stinks and gets kicked out of the room. So
I use the deodorant product Underarms, but that's it.
Yeah, that's about it. Because like Mark said, you clean where it's dirty and smelly.
Yeah.
So you spray where it's dirty and smelly.
I suspect these people don't do that either. I mean, the article, at least the portions we went through, didn't get into that, but they didn't specifically address, do you also use this other chemical product, this deodorant?
I would assume they don't, because
I bet they don't either.
Yeah, because one of the things he said is he developed it because after not bathing, he was unable to get rid of the smell, that pungent scent, until he got his ammonia levels in check with his newly created Aobiome Mother Dirt product.
It just sounds too good to be true, but then maybe we've just all been lied to our whole lives about soap.
Wouldn't be the first time.
The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can share your thoughts with us here. Plus, we can talk about gun control on the way and the end of Mad Magazine. It's upon us.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com. You love Bitcoin. It's the future, right? Well, no, not if everyone stops using it. I mean, think about it. How many places in your town take Bitcoin? 1? None? Let's be real. If this Bitcoin thing is ever going to happen, it's going to need your help. The good news is, the guys at AnyPay have your back. We built a website called helpmetakebitcoin.com, and it's a place you can send any business, and they'll be set up to take Bitcoin in 5 minutes. helpmetakebitcoin.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,497, silver at $17.06, and Bitcoin is trading around $11,887. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, child sex trafficking victim Centonia Brown was released from prison Wednesday. A development welcomed by human rights advocates who said her case underscores the need to fix the nation's criminal justice system. Now 31 years old, Brown was originally sentenced to life in prison for killing one of the men who solicited her for sex when she was a 16-year-old child. The Mind Unleashed reports that in January, then-Governor Bill Haslam of Tennessee commuted her sentence following pressure from human rights groups, thousands of Americans who signed petitions and wrote letters, and celebrities who helped bring attention to her case. Brown spent more than 14 years behind bars. Brown, in a statement, said she looks forward to using, quote, my experiences to help other women and girls suffering abuse and exploitation, end quote. Though now out of prison, Brown is still under state control. She will be on parole for 10 years. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A 13-year-old boy was seriously injured after a man attacked him for not removing his hat during the national anthem at a county fair and rodeo in Montana, resulting in a fractured skull for the young boy. The Mind Unleashed reports that 39-year-old Kurt James Brockway launched his assault on the boy out of a belief that the boy had supposedly disrespected the national anthem. That's according to the Missoulian. The man was arrested and charged with assault on a minor for the attack that occurred at the Mineral County Fair and Rodeo. Taylor Hennick, a rodeo attendee, said she had just paused for the national anthem before hearing a sudden pop and then noticed a child bleeding out of his ears, seizing on the ground. As outraged bystanders quickly began surrounding Brockway, the man attempted to justify the assault by saying that, quote, the boy was disrespecting the national anthem by wearing this hat, end quote. The boy was airlifted for hospital treatment in Washington, where he received treatment for temporal skull fractures. The rapid and dangerous decline of the insect population in the United States, often called an insect apocalypse by scientists, has largely been driven by an increase in the toxicity of U.S. agriculture caused by the use of pesticides. That's according to a study published Tuesday. The study found that American agriculture has become 48 times more toxic to insects over the past 25 years and pinned 92% of the toxicity increase on the pesticides, which were banned by the European Union last year, due to the threat they pose to bees and other pollinators. The Mind Unleashed reports that Kendra Klein, Ph.D., study co-author and senior staff scientist at Friends of the Earth, said the United States must follow Europe's lead and ban the toxic pesticides before it's too late. According to National Geographic, they attack the central nervous system of insects, causing overstimulation of their nerve cells, paralysis, and death. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
This is the Onion Week in Review. A study finds that Americans need 6 hours of uninterrupted sleep at work in order to leave the office feeling refreshed and alert. Leading endocrinologists told reporters that more and more people are pulling all-dayers and drinking coffee just to keep themselves awake for meetings and conference calls, and that in order to be properly rested, employees should arrive at work, check their email for a few hours, and be sound asleep by 11:30 a.m. at the very latest.
In order for the body to properly function, adults need to make sure that they're well rested and they're not staying up too late at work.
The Lord our God, divine creator and ruler of the universe, announced Wednesday that he does not consider human beings his most impressive creation, saying instead that mountains are categorically superior in every way. Claiming that mankind was a good creation and worthy of praise, the deity explained that human beings simply pale in comparison to the slopes, valleys, and sheer magnitude of a snow-capped 20,000-foot mountain, and that while all humans eventually grow old and die, mountains last forever.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's
Free Talk Live, and we're launching into the second hour of this live Sunday edition of the program with you in the studio tonight. It's Ian,
Richie Rich,
and Mark.
And we were talking about bodily washing habits and such, but we're going to get into gun control coming up here. You're certainly still welcome to bring up whatever happens to be on your mind. Mark, you'd had a story. I do have it pulled up here.
Thank goodness.
Elizabeth Warren, one of the Democratic candidates for president, says she's got a plan to reduce gun deaths by 80%. Now, of course, it's easy to make any kind of promises when you are a politician because the bigger the promise.
I have a plan to reduce gun deaths by 81%.
I've already put on Facebook that I am promising anyone who votes for me for president 1 Bitcoin if I win.
Wow. All right. Let's go to your calls and thoughts here, though. First, to start things out this hour, we're actually going to our Discord call-in lines, which, by the way, allow you to call in and sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio. Just go to discord.lrn.fm. You'll find the top 4 rooms on our chat server there. Our voice rooms called the on-air call-in lines. Just pick one of them, join that room, and we will join you there. And you'll be on the air with us like Red Devil is in Montana. Go ahead, Red Devil.
Yeah, so you guys are all talking about these natural remedies and things like that, soaps and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I work I'm a pesticide applicator here in Missoula. I do like lawn fertilization and, spraying weeds and everything. And my company, it's gone into a more of a definitely organic side. And the thing is, though, is you start looking at some of these products, even the organic ones, they got chemicals like eugenol and stuff like that. And that stuff will, it's pretty dangerous stuff. Like, you get it in your eyes, you go blind kind of stuff.
Yikes.
But I've got the best idea, because working in lawns, you find out what kills weeds the best. Just dog urine. So I feel like somebody needs to come out with just concentrated dog urine weed spray. I mean, people would love it and they'd buy it up. So if anybody's got a dog kennel out there, start your own business, man.
Do you know what the chemical? What's the chemical in the dog urine that causes that? I'm sure they can make a derivative of that.
Actually, it's just the nitrogen in the dog urine that burns the stuff. So if you notice, like on lawns and everything, you'll have a dead patch, and then around it is super green and growing.
Yeah.
Which that's nitrogen, which is pretty much just fertilizer. So
I thought that it was dog poop that caused those brown spots in lawns.
Oh no, it's dog urine for sure.
Okay.
I mean, also dogs run on stuff and everything, but female dogs, I hear, are the worst. But that's what you hear. So.
All right.
Yeah, if anybody's got any kennels out there, you could just bottle that stuff and sell it next roundup.
It works for the gamer girls online. Hey, thanks for the call tonight, Red Devil. I appreciate it.
Then you had to go say the things about the gamer girls online. I just had my joke. Them bitches got bad urine, right? About female dogs.
Being
and
bitches,
then
yeah.
you had to mention the gamer girls. And that
Are you saying my joke was better than yours?
No, I'm saying it derailed mine.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll have another chance.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren introduced, this according to NPR.org, a sweeping gun control plan on Saturday with the goal of reducing gun deaths by 80% through executive action and legislation. Because that's always stopped people from using guns. That's clearly going to just keep making laws. That'll stop the criminals. She says, you've got to start with a goal. I haven't heard anybody else talk about a goal. She said
that's fair. I'll say that's fair. It's never about the goal. It's about the methods used to achieve that goal that usually give me pause.
Well, don't worry. She'll give you pause.
Right. I want the goal she has is 80% less gun crime.
Yes.
I'm down.
Yeah.
The NPR Politics podcast, she was interviewed on that. She told them, quote, what I've heard them talk about is here's one thing we'll do, and one thing we'll do, and one thing we'll do, and then we'll quit, unquote. Announcing her plan, Warren said the first step toward meeting her goal is immediate administrative action, which includes a range of ideas, such as requiring background checks. Pretty sure they already do that, don't they?
Yeah, I thought the federal government required background checks.
I guess that's only for new gun sales, right?
Right, so it could be the trying to close the gun show loophole, right? Which I went to a gun show recently, and
really?
They
you can do that as a felon, go to a gun show?
Well, they didn't check me at the door, and
you just can't pick up any of the merchandise.
I did not.
Okay.
So there was this gun show loophole or whatever, and that the idea is that somehow you can buy a gun. I don't know, like a convicted felon can walk into a gun show. I can assure you that is not the case. I asked the guy, so what happens if I decide to call this to buy this gun? He's like, we go right over there, we call the whatever, we run your background and blah blah blah, and then you know. If it comes back bad, that guy over there arrests you, and off you go. If it comes back good, you walk out with your gun.
I'm already disappointed. Now I got to look at private sales.
Yeah, don't buy. I would never buy a gun on the books, just because why would you want to let the government know that?
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
That's why I don't.
I've never understood why somebody. I guess the reason why some people do it is because they want to get a very specific gun and they can't find that gun on the the normal
right. If you want a
buyer-seller
1911,
market.
you can absolutely get it.
Right, because there's a ton of them, right?
Right, there's a ton of them, and they're a fine weapon. The guys that have them swear by them. They work forever, and when you run out of bullets, you can always whip that heavy ass thing at them.
She says here, so she wants to do background checks, investigate the NRA. And
the most gun-friendly advocate group on the planet.
No, they're not the most gun-friendly. No, probably like Gun Owners of America.
I'm just joking.
And revoking licenses for gun dealers who break the law.
Gun dealers break the law? I mean,
probably you don't fill out the form just right or something. If like with the tax form, if you don't put the check in the right box, you've broken the law.
Gun dealers are not running around trying to give guns to felons.
No, they're not.
It's ridiculous.
She's also reiterating her desire to eliminate the filibuster to pass gun legislation, citing the fact that a majority of Americans support gun restrictions, and her belief that gun control could pass in the Senate. Quote, "We got to have a leader who's willing to stand up to the gun lobby and say no more, and to take away one of their principal tools, which is the filibuster." So that's certain people will get up and talk, basically, to somehow stop gun legislation from
right.
going
So
through.
she is a senator, and she knows how the filibuster works and all that stuff. Rules have changed in the Senate recently, so I wouldn't claim to know everything about what's going on there. But both sides are angry when their stuff isn't getting done. But when they change the rules to benefit them, what they're doing is they're benefiting the other side that's going to get the stuff they want to get. So the Senate is, this very traditional body that has held up legislation of all sorts for a long time.
Could she make it so that you can't filibuster just on gun legislation? Is that what she's saying?
She can't.
Is she trying to end the filibuster entirely then?
Yeah, she's using this catastrophe to end the thing that irritates her, which is the filibuster.
Warren's going beyond some of the more commonly discussed ideas, such as stricter background checks or a ban on assault weapons. Her plan also calls for creating a federal licensing system. They don't already have... Oh, I guess the licenses right now are for the gun shops, not for the gun owners.
Right, gun owners get their licenses from the state.
Gun owners do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
In states that require it.
Right, and so what happens if you're a Democrat from Massachusetts is like, this is outrageous that the people go across the border in New Hampshire, buy a gun, return here, and then we can't do anything about it.
Well, they can. They'll arrest you in Massachusetts if you've got a gun without a government permit.
If they catch you with a gun.
Well, they do it. They
Yes,
they caught nobody. One of our co-hosts with a gun down there once, and he lucked out because he took a plea and basically forfeited the gun. So they got a free gun from him, basically, and that was the end of that.
Yeah.
Going on here, she says she wants to not only create a federal licensing system, but also limit the number of firearms someone could buy, raise the minimum age to 21.
No collectors then.
Yep, raising the minimum age to 21 for purchasing a gun, holding gun manufacturers liable, presumably for the use of those guns, which is insane.
Well,
That's
then let's
extraordinarily egregious.
Yeah, then we'll just start holding car companies liable for accidents.
The toll-free number here tonight, if you want to join us, is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733, especially if you're...
lawyer's solution is suing somebody. Surprise! Surprise! Surprise!
So if you are a gun control advocate and you want to weigh in and give us your opinion on what should be done, because all of the things the government has done thus far, have had no effect. Because, well, guess what? Crazy people are going to do whatever they want to do, and they're going to find the guns if that's what they want to find. Or if you can't get guns, they'll build bombs or something. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Good luck restricting all of the materials from which a bomb could be made It's Free Talk Live.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite is nutrition.
Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free.
New improved Lico Chops with omega-3, omega-6, vitamin E.
And now, 6 extra direct-fed microbials.
Even better for the digestive tract and immune system.
Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better, too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live, and you can join us here. The toll-free number, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We've got the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. If you want to jump into those, you'll sound really great. With you here in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Richie Rich,
and Mark.
I want to tell you about godarkbags.com/FTL. This is a product, it's a newer advertiser here on Free Talk Live. For those of you who, and for good reason, might be concerned with being tracked on and by your smartphone, Because guess what? When you put your phone into airplane mode, and I didn't know this until I learned about it from the folks over at Go Dark Bags, is that apparently in airplane mode, your phone is still keeping track of your location. And then once you take it off of airplane mode, all that data gets transmitted back to Google or whoever it is that would be wanting to keep track of that sort of thing. So what do you do? How is it that you can you protect yourself from that knowledge getting out there? And Go Dark Bags has the solution. You go to godarkbags.com/FTL, and you can get your Faraday bag from Go Dark Bags. And then you just pop your phone in there whenever you want to be off the grid, so to speak.
I suppose you could turn your phone off, but then you have to trust the people that are tracking you while you're in airplane mode to, that a phone that is off is actually off.
Yeah, a lot of devices say they're off, but you don't really know.
You can't even remove the batteries.
Many phones, many phones don't allow you to remove the battery.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
So, maybe that's a fine solution. Maybe it's not.
GoDarkBags.com/FTL. As we continue here, we've got the story here on Elizabeth Warren, who's a Democratic candidate for president. She's saying she wants to reduce gun deaths by 80%. It says she's got a plan that involves cracking down on the dealers, holding gun manufacturers liable, which is just absolutely insane.
There's a Supreme Court ruling that's coming through on this right now that's going to definitively say one way or the other as to whether or not gun manufacturers can be held liable. But at this point, all of the case law, and I don't care if you're president, I don't care if you're the Speaker of the House, I don't care who you think you are in the United States, the case law that matters is the Supreme Court. The rulings that matter are the Supreme Courts. She's not running for Chief Justice. I don't know what she's talking about.
Well, are you confident the Supreme Court's going to come down with a positive ruling in favor of gun rights?
I'm confident that they will come down with a positive ruling for gun manufacturers. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
You think so?
Okay. Look, what's America good at? Blowing people into little bitty pieces.
Protecting industry.
These are the organizations that do it. Now, they make handguns, but a lot of these people make handguns for the military, too.
Well, right. The gun manufacturers, if they were going to make gun manufacturers liable for the usage of those guns, they would exempt their own agencies. So that any gun manufacturer selling to the military wouldn't be held liable for any of the murders committed by the military men.
Look, a lot of these gun manufacturers are selling to the military.
I know that.
So, like the different army.
That's what I'm saying. They would have an exemption for that.
A military exemption to being held liable.
So if it was ruled that they would be held liable for a private person killing another person, but then there would be an exemption in whatever law or ruling or whatever where there'd be a carve out, like you can have the government can go and mass murder with your guns and you wouldn't be held liable for that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But that doesn't change the fact that the companies that make the guns will still go out of business, whether or not they go out of business because that people got blown up, got killed by a government agent or by an individual.
You don't think they could stay in business with just the government buying their guns?
No. Not the big ones. Not all of them. No, there would be a huge amount of attrition. The United States is
what about international
gigantic
sales?
A market for handgun sales.
What about international sales?
No, I don't.
Do you think the litigation towards the gun manufacturers would be that significant?
Yes, I do. Look, are we talking about all the gun manufacturers or some of the gun manufacturers? Absolutely, some gun manufacturers.
Well, they would be able to discriminate in theory.
They'd
have to target
Belgian gun manufacturers. Okay.
Well, yeah, they can't regulate that.
But they sell most of their handguns in the United States or to militaries.
Let's talk to Larry. He's in Evansville, Indiana, listening, I believe, on WGBF. Hello, Larry.
Hello.
Hey, you're
Thanks
on the air.
for taking my call.
Sure.
Before I make a comment about this gun control thing and Elizabeth Warren, not that I'm correcting you, but I'm correcting a common mistake, Ian, that when people talk about, you'd mentioned that Elizabeth Warren was a Democratic candidate. They often put Democratic in front of everything they use because the Democratic Party, the Democratic movement, all those types of things. She is a Democrat because the trick of using Democratic in front of all those things is that they make it sound like it's big, small d democracy, and it's not. They might as well say democratic socialism. They might as well say democratic tyranny, because all the only difference between socialism and democratic socialism is the ballot box, which they are seeking to control as well. I don't know if you want to, if you agree with that or not, but
so you think that the term democratic lends somehow softens?
Cover.
Well, people typically say that the United States is a democracy.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
so if you believe in majority rules and you have,
but it is a republic, and saying that it's a republic as opposed to a democracy, I don't know. I mean, to me, I guess neither one of these terms really has it's not a compliment whenever I use either of those terms.
Sure. Well, I agree. I mean, and not to cause any kind of argument between anybody here. I happen to be a constitutional conservative, but I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. But concerning this gun control, we have to look back in time. They're following such old, I'll say, advice. And there's two specific quotes. One goes this way: cause the registration of all firearms on some pretext with the view of confiscating them and leaving the population defenseless. Another is this: a system of licensing and registration is the perfect device to deny gun ownership to, here's the key word, bourgeoisie. Those two quotes came from Vladimir Lenin.
Yeah, these are not new ideas. That's for sure.
Even if the federal government takes and says, no, we're going to give, which is kind of a Republican concept right now, of taking block grants or grants and giving to the state and having them work out their own system, there will be some sort of federal level as they call it, quote unquote, oversight or management of this, so FBI and other organizations would have access to these state registries.
Yeah.
They're not going to let the states do this. I'll call it an experiment by themselves, because they have control over that, because the states would be getting grants from the federal government. Therefore, they would claim to some form of authority over the way that they're used, or the information those that would have access to the information that the states would generate through the registration of these guns.
Well, yet another argument to secede now from the United States. Thank you, Larry, for the call tonight. I appreciate it.
Or not take the grant money.
That's a step in the right direction.
That's what New Hampshire did with seatbelts. It's the only state in the union where adults don't have to wear seatbelts.
Right. You can call that nullification of the federal government.
In that
basically.
case, it's really nothing. They just didn't take the grant.
855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Gun control or whatever's on your mind. It's the Sunday edition, live here on Free Talk Live.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, the live Sunday edition of the program. As always, you can join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. I want to say thank you to Save a Horse, who is a Free Talk Live silver amplifier. Save a Horse is a supporter of Free Talk Live. For $5 a month, that's all it costs to become an amplifier. AMP stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. If you like the message of this program, if you like the idea that we're talking about freedom, talking about liberty and peace and cryptocurrency, things that we discuss throughout an entire week on over 200 radio stations, then you can help us out. You can support the show for $5 a month, just like Save a Horse, over at amp.freetalklive.com. That's amp.freetalklive.com. You will get some perks, some bonuses as a result of your amp, and your amp will help us advertise, market, and promote Free Talk Live, get on more radio stations around the U.S. and beyond. So thank you to Save a Horse and everybody else who amps the program over at amp.freetalklive.com. Let's go to your phone calls and thoughts. And then there's a little bit more here from NPR about this Elizabeth Warren and her tax the guns, regulate the guns, more regulations plan that she's got here. We got Pete first, though, in Virginia Beach, listening to WNIS. Hello, Pete.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen.
Hey,
good to
Pete.
speak to you again.
Thank you. Go ahead.
So, my comments are just so common sense that it's mind-boggling to me that they even have to be said in a country as great as this that should have the best education system, et cetera. But how can we hold a gun manufacturer accountable for something that someone chose to do after they purchased it? We don't do the same for car manufacturers when someone decides to drive into a crowd of people and kill them.
Well, that will open a dangerous Pandora's box if they do, because then somebody will get it into their head that they should go after car manufacturers as well. I would tell you this right now. This sort of has already started on the internet. There have been some very disturbing cases where people who've created websites have been held liable for the actions of their users on those websites. So a good example of this would be, of course, the Silk Road, which was an underground marketplace where people sold and purchased drugs. They put the person who created that website in a prison cell for a double life sentence plus 40 years. Then there was the Backpage.com guys that went to I believe they went to prison in that particular case as well. And again, just because their users were using a platform that was created, they were held liable for it. So we've already begun going down this very disturbing road of holding a creator of a thing liable for somebody else's usage of that thing. I think this is a very dark time for for the freedom to do business.
Bars and bartenders would be another example.
Mm-hmm.
Look back at Prohibition when they, bootlegger. They didn't invent alcohol; they just manufactured it without, certain having to pay all the taxes to the government for having it FDA approved or whatnot. I mean, it's just, you said slippery path. I think we're already there.
That's what I'm saying.
It depends on who gets elected, as far as how socialist and how much more freedom we will be giving up. But I guess good luck to everybody.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right. It doesn't matter who gets elected, whether it's Elizabeth Warren or Donald Trump or whoever it ends up being. We're going to have less freedom when the next 4 years are done.
That's kind of their shtick.
So vote accordingly.
Yeah. What is that? What is Brewster's Millions? Vote none of the above or something?
There you go. Pete, good call, man. Thanks for sharing tonight. I definitely appreciate it. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Well, actually, we've got a co-host who just changed his name to Nobody, and he is planning on running for office, so people will finally have a chance.
Richie, would you vote for none of the above or Nobody or whatever?
No.
So
you wouldn't even vote for Nobody?
I wouldn't even vote for Nobody.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all right.
Here's the thing. Part of it is, I'm out of that system. Right, I'm not on the voter roll. I'm never registered, and I don't
want to be.
I don't want to be. I don't even want them to know that I'm here as much as possible.
Do you have a driver's license?
No.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You
free traveler.
That's awesome.
Whatever that's called.
I love that.
Jail bait.
That's something else, Mark.
Okay.
We talked about that on Friday night when we discussed Cody Wilson taking a guilty plea out in Austin for having sex with a young lady who obviously knew what she was doing, but that's a whole other story. So going back to Elizabeth Warren, she's got a plan. She wants to hold gun manufacturers liable and in some cases even holding gun industry CEOs personally liable. She also wants to raise taxes for gun manufacturers from 10% to 30% on guns and from 11% to 50% on ammunition.
Because that won't get passed on to the consumers at all.
I'm pretty sure that's the point of a tax.
Yeah.
Additionally, Warren's plan calls for $100 million annual investment into gun violent research.
So this is the part that I think is most interesting. She's ready to give your tax money, $100 million of it every year.
It's an investment, Mark. She's just going to pay dividends
into gun research.
Investments do.
And that's very interesting. However, the Center for Disease Control did a study, and I think it was in 1994, but it was certainly in the 90s. And in that study, they found that guns were used well more than 1 million times every year to prevent crime.
I've heard it's like 2 million times.
Fine. Call it 2 million times. Well more than 1 million times in a year. Now, anybody who wants to talk about gun violence, gun deaths, or anything like that, the number million doesn't come up. Like, that's a big number. So 1 million crimes per year are prevented because of guns in the United States, according to this old study from the 90s by the Center for Disease Control. So, presuming that this is so, now I haven't read this thing exhaustively, but we've gone through it on the air, so it exists. What if this $100 million investment over the course of, say, let's say it's $300 million over the course of 3 years or 4 years, whatever, in her presidency, results in the government saying, because it said it once, turns out it's safer if everybody just carries a gun.
Well, then they'll declare the results to be inconclusive.
Right.
We've got to study this more until we get the result we want.
That's how this is going to go, is that they're not going to study this unless studying it means finding out what they want to find out. Now, there's some interesting statistics when it comes to guns and making them illegal. Richie, you had something on states.
Right.
I don't want to say it. I want you to say it.
I pulled up some statistics just because I'm from the state of Hawaii, as you may know. And
that's special. It's an island.
Okay. And that could be what makes it special.
Yep. It's a lot easier to limit guns on an island than it is on a continent, and especially a continent that already has 600 million of them.
And on that island, it has very, very restrictive gun laws. Like you can't do anything with it aside from like buy it, put it in its case, transport it to your house in its case, and then to the gun range. And that's it. They have to have carry licensure. But you have to have like a special case approved by the chief of police, and no one gets approved.
How do they've got all kinds of feral hogs in Hawaii. How do they kill them? Like big Samoans just jump on them with a knife in their teeth?
I had a friend who went bow hunting.
Okay, yeah, you can kill them that way.
So I don't know, right? I don't know because I'm not. My family owns firearms, but I didn't grow up with it. Right? I went to the range like once or twice as a kid. I fired a .22 in high school, but I didn't grow up around it. It's not part of my existence there. But the gun laws are very restrictive, and yet it's one of the safest places to be as far as gun violence and gun deaths. So this is from the Kaiser Family Foundation.
Is it possible that it's one of those cultural changes, like that it's a different culture out there?
Absolutely could be.
It doesn't sound like it from these numbers. Go ahead and read them.
So this is from the Kaiser Family Foundation. Number of deaths due to injury by firearm per 100,000 population from 2017. This is the time frame. So Hawaii is the safest. 2.5 gun deaths per 100,000 of population.
This includes suicides or accidental discharge and that kind of thing?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
You can't get killed by a gun if there isn't a gun to accidentally discharge, right?
The national average is 12. So 4 or 5 times less than the national average.
What is 2, 3, 4, 5?
New York, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut.
So these places all have pretty severe gun control.
Which would lead one to believe that gun control is the answer
to gun deaths.
Sure.
And gun violence? Is that what it says? Gun deaths, right?
This is number of deaths due to injury by firearms.
Okay.
All right, there's more on the way here. You can share your thoughts. We got more to dig into as well. It's Free Talk Live.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-976-1460. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-976-1460. That's 1-800-976-1460. 1-800-976-1460.
Hi, I'm Adam Barata, author of the book Gold is a Better Way. It became a national bestseller. It's now become a movement. My member site went live 1 year ago, and since that time, gold is up $250. It's outperforming the highest flying stock market in history by 15%. And for the first time, I'm opening up my live gold summit to non-members. This is a $1,500 ticket for free. Join me and my over 5,000 members via live stream on August 14th and learn the secrets to the next gold boom. The event is for investors with over $100,000. If that's you, text the words Gold Summit to 49776. That's the words Gold Summit to 49776. Get your $1,500 ticket for free for our August 14th live event now. Text Gold Summit to 49776 and join the movement. Text the words Gold Summit to 49776. That's the words Gold Summit to 49776.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live, and you can dial in toll-free here. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm, so feel free to get interactive over there, generally with the different chat rooms, but if you want to call in, you'll sound really great on the Discord platform. Again, that's discord.lrn.fm. As we continue here, I do want to make sure that you know about different ways that you can interact with Free Talk Live. We do have our Twitch channel and also the DLive channel. So these are our video versions of the show. You can go to dlive.lrn.fm to find the DLive channel or twitch.lrn.fm to watch us there. And we have crossed the 1,000 follower threshold on Twitch, so thank you to everybody who has done that.
Does twitch.freetalklive.com go to the same place?
Probably.
And does dlive.freetalklive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I made those two. So anyway, yeah, you can go to either one of those. But using the LRN URL shorter. So that's why I give that one out. Shorter is usually better when it comes to URLs.
I do wonder if people know what .fm even means sometimes.
Yeah.
I think on the logo, people don't really get it.
Like a country code?
Federated Micronesia is what it stands for. Yeah. So let's go on here. We've been talking about statistics, actually. We got away from the Elizabeth Warren plan to lower gun violence by 80%. Richie, you had some statistics about deaths related to firearms, right? Is that what it is?
Number of deaths due to injury by firearm per 100,000 population, specifically.
Right. So this could be a violent death. This could be somebody accidentally shooting themselves. This could be a purposeful shooting of oneself. All of those things would qualify in the statistic.
Hunting accident?
Yeah. I mean, I could dig deeper into the study.
Yeah, well, that's what it means. I mean, if it's a firearm death, that's how they do these.
But
numbers.
he's saying very specific things that
I'm saying these are likely included.
Right.
If it's a firearm-related death, that doesn't just mean it was somebody murdering another person.
Right, and that's what it's intended to look like. So, and that's why they do that. So I would be much more interested in knowing the statistics of gun deaths due to gun crimes as opposed to gun deaths, because to me, first off, I consider it cleaning out the gene pool when somebody who is kills themselves with their own gun by accident.
Okay.
All right. I mean, sorry it happened to your family, but this is kind of how these things go. You knew that when you bought the gun that they kill people, and that's what they're designed to do.
Which is why my wife is very opposed to having a firearm in the apartment or in the house.
I've heard statistics that, well, you can't die from a gun you don't have. The other thing is that hunting accidents are infrequent, but they do happen, and they wouldn't have happened if you didn't go hunting. I mean, you had a gun too, right?
Yeah.
Suicide by gun, it's tragic when it happens to your family, but that's a success, right? Like the person who had the gun used it for what they wanted to use it for at that time.
All right, so I do have the statistic I think that you're looking for here, Mark. This is from Wikipedia, citing a list of U.S. states per capita, so per 100,000.
Yep.
They're looking at murder and non-negligent manslaughter rate.
Okay.
And so the numbers are from 2015.
Now, that doesn't include cops.
Probably not, because it's not murder when they do it.
No.
Right?
Murder is a crime.
Yeah. So, according to the statistics here, actually, New Hampshire bests Hawaii in this chart. New Hampshire at 1.1.
Ooh.
Right.
Hold on.
Kidding, I'm just
New
teasing.
Hampshire at 1.1 murder / non-negligent manslaughter per 100,000. Hawaii in at number 2 on the list,
right,
at 1.3. Followed by Vermont at 1.6, and then Maine.
When you look at the gun laws, though, they're so diametrically opposed,
completely different between New Hampshire and Hawaii.
That there must be in more to it.
Well, it's
it has to be culture.
It's not just culture; it's also being an island in the middle of the Pacific.
I'll grant both of those. Right?
I'm willing I'm willing to give a little bit of nudge to culture, but I think largely, look, I've said it over and over again, is that Great Britain had some success with this because they're an island and they can control what comes in and what goes out. It's a lot harder to bring in a boatload of guns.
Yeah, but we bring in a boatload of firearms fireworks every New Year's.
To Hawaii, even though they're illegal?
Even though they're illegal.
Yeah. Well, the fireworks are more fun. And it's just proof, right? They get it on the island. There's no doubt that you can get around those things. But it's not so easy, and one doesn't want to take the risk. The thing about gun owners is you've got to, you're either squeaky clean or dirty, rotten scoundrel.
Sure.
Like one of the others when it comes down to this. And the kind of people that are going to move guns are not the kind of people that you want to cross, and it's probably not enough money for them.
That could be true as well.
You know what? How am I going to sell them?
Shops. There are gun shops in Hawaii. You can buy it. They're available for purchase.
It says here that there's a tremendous amount of gun ownership in Hawaii.
There might be
45.1%.
That seems high to me. In my experience, that seems high.
I mean, they only say here that New Hampshire, now this is what's reported, right? So New Hampshire, you don't have to report anything to anybody.
Okay.
So it's probably going based on, I don't know what I have not looked far enough to see where they're sourcing these numbers from, but New Hampshire only at 14.4%.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if the local natives, or whatever terminology one wishes to use for the Hawaiian folks out there, that they've got guns and they use them for pests and varmints and stuff, and that backs up your culture argument, Ian. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I also did pull up the not just firearm safety, or not deaths, but just general homicide rate. So that was where I thought New Hampshire was also at the top, and it is. New Hampshire at 1.0 homicide rate per 100,000 population. So there's just not a lot of violent acts that happen here that result in death, period, in New Hampshire. Below New Hampshire, you got North Dakota at 1.3. Actually, Vermont has gone up this chart. It used to be pretty close to New Hampshire. Back in 2010, it was 1.0 for New Hampshire and 1.1 for Vermont. Vermont is now doubled to 2.2. So Vermont now twice as violent.
Well, Vermont's only got 600,000 people in it, so that was probably 2 people doing something.
Well, it's per capita, right? Per capita.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So there you go. There's some statistics. Was there more that we needed to pick apart on that, or did we?
You kind of did it, but I have this from U.S. News. The best states for public safety. So the
safest,
measuring crime level in each state. And according to this, I think it was 2019. Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Idaho were the top 5 safest states.
New Jersey?
Number 4. I don't know. Again,
must be the rest of the Garden State. It ain't Camden.
I will never go back to North Bergen, New Jersey. I had a harrowing experience there.
Either way, it's just I want to say conflicting or opposing statistics as far as gun-related deaths versus actual safety. Right? Hawaii, low gun-related deaths. Right? Does not correlate necessarily to being a safe place to be. You mentioned earlier, Mark, off air, that the gun takes away the equalizing ability of weaker, feebler, older people to defend themselves.
God made man, same Colt made him equal.
Exactly. And you don't have that necessarily.
And that's what's going on in Great Britain right now is that crimes are being committed with knives, but knives are the weapon of a bigger, stronger person because they can wield them. Granny having a knife against this big chav, 250-pound chav, it's not going to do any good.
Sure. The chav's British slang for like a scumbag, right?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I don't know. I probably said some racial slur. I don't even know.
No, it's British slang.
Okay.
And my dad would say it's easier to outrun a knife, or than a gun.
Right.
So
right.
If they've got it, but
unless the person is
say
skilled in throwing the knife.
Sure, but even that's not going to have the velocity of a bullet.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't throw knives.
Unless they're
you have
throwing
to be
knives.
Skilled in throwing the knife. Otherwise,
it has to be a throwing knife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has to land the right way.
Yeah.
Axe throwing's the thing now.
Almost. It's fun to throw axes.
Sure.
There's no doubt, but. Again, if you have a weapon, don't get it out of your hand. Use it if you're going to use it, but don't throw it, for God's sake. It's like in The Last Samurai, Tom Hanks throws a samurai sword. Good Lord.
So you practice all that with the throwing knives and then you just hang on to them in the fight?
You don't use throwing knives.
Right. So 855-450-FREE, that's our toll-free number. Coming up, we've got a sad, sad day. I mean, we have been kind of broadcasting over the years the failure of the print industry, and it's kind of funny to watch the newspapers fold up and go away, and as they struggle to remain relevant in today's day and age of digital delivery. But it is sad to see Mad Magazine closing up shop after
50 plus years.
Decades.
Cracked made the transition. Mad didn't.
Yeah, that's a good point. More on the way here. Our toll-free number, because Cracked was always like nowhere near the popularity of Mad Magazine back in the day when I was growing up.
Yeah.
There's more on the way. You can share your thoughts. Whatever you want goes here on Free Talk Live.
You might be living in a free country, but are you living a free life? Are you able to do whatever you really want to do? Being stuck in a job or difficult business, or being locked into a relationship with a woman you might like, but you're not free to do what you want. I'm Caleb Jones, and my staff and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create location-independent income and how to date women under your terms. Go to freelifeinfo.com to download 7 free books and podcasts so you can live a life like this too.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,497, silver at $17.06, and Bitcoin is trading around $11,887. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, child sex trafficking victim Centonia Brown was released from prison Wednesday. A development welcomed by human rights advocates who said her case underscores the need to fix the nation's criminal justice system. Now 31 years old, Brown was originally sentenced to life in prison for killing one of the men who solicited her for sex when she was a 16-year-old child. The Mind Unleashed reports that in January, then-Governor Bill Haslam of Tennessee commuted her sentence following pressure from human rights groups, thousands of Americans who signed petitions and wrote letters, and celebrities who helped bring attention to her case. Brown spent more than 14 years behind bars. Brown, in a statement, said she looks forward to using, quote, my experiences to help other women and girls suffering abuse and exploitation, end quote. Though now out of prison, Brown is still under state control. She will be on parole for 10 years. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A 13-year-old boy was seriously injured after a man attacked him for not removing his hat during the national anthem at a county fair and rodeo in Montana, resulting in a fractured skull for the young boy. The Mind Unleashed reports that 39-year-old Kurt James Brockway launched his assault on the boy out of a belief that the boy had supposedly disrespected the national anthem. That's according to the Missoulian. The man was arrested and charged with assault on a minor for the attack that occurred at the Mineral County Fair and Rodeo. Taylor Hennick, a rodeo attendee, said she had just paused for the national anthem before hearing a sudden pop and then noticed a child bleeding out of his ears, seizing on the ground. As outraged bystanders quickly began surrounding Brockway, the man attempted to justify the assault by saying that, quote, the boy was disrespecting the national anthem by wearing this hat, end quote. The boy was airlifted for hospital treatment in Washington, where he received treatment for temporal skull fractures. The rapid and dangerous decline of the insect population in the United States, often called an insect apocalypse by scientists, has largely been driven by an increase in the toxicity of U.S. agriculture caused by the use of pesticides. That's according to a study published Tuesday. The study found that American agriculture has become 48 times more toxic to insects over the past 25 years and pinned 92% of the toxicity increase on the pesticides, which were banned by the European Union last year, due to the threat they pose to bees and other pollinators. The Mind Unleashed reports that Kendra Klein, Ph.D., study co-author and senior staff scientist at Friends of the Earth, said the United States must follow Europe's lead and ban the toxic pesticides before it's too late. According to National Geographic, they attack the central nervous system of insects, causing overstimulation of their nerve cells, paralysis, and death. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
For ages, scientists have associated the Earth's cosmic location with a wide spectrum of interstellar phenomena. But a study from the International Astronomical Union says that not only is the Earth far from the most interesting part of the cosmos, but is in fact located in the lamest, least awesome part of the universe.
We're billions of light years away from any supermassive black holes, interstellar explosions, or really anything even moderately cool. Our nebula just sucks so hard in comparison to some of the things out there.
Not only is the planet Earth and its solar system, quote, basically the most boring region of the entire universe, but a number of irregularly shaped galaxies illuminated in the Hubble Ultra Deep Field prove to be infinitely cooler than any of the weak-ass, boring-as phenomena occurring in the Milky Way.
I mean, there's a black hole out there that weighs 21 billion solar masses, and it's 336 million light years away. Our black hole? It couldn't tear a mid-sized star apart. We're the cosmic equivalent of a cul-de-sac.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live, launching into the third hour of this live Sunday edition of the program. Coming up, Kim Jong-un has written another beautiful letter to Donald Trump. We'll tell you what this one was all about on the way here.
It's an international romance.
And also Mad Magazine is closing its doors, apparently, after decades of existence. As we will get into all that, your calls and thoughts are certainly welcome. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. We've covered gun control. Elizabeth Warren, she's got a plan. We went through some of the points on that. And also people who don't bathe. You know, I did just find myself wondering, do the people who don't bathe and or those who don't use soap when they're showering, do they use soap like when they've got dirty hands, you know, like before eating a meal, or do they just rub them underneath some hot water?
The answer is they'll do a variety of things,
yeah.
So in my case, I don't use soap on my body, just the sticky bits, and but I do use soap on my hands when I wash my hands. But
you weren't one of those people. I mean, you were kind of like halfway, because there's some of them who just won't use soap at all.
Right, I'm not neurotic.
You've never seen a mechanic eat a sandwich? Just the whole handprint with grease on there?
No, I've never seen that happen. Okay. Have you?
Yeah.
Really?
They
do that?
I thought like mechanics wore rubber gloves.
I thought they have
Maybe
the Gojo,
nowadays.
that orange Gojo stuff or whatever.
Yeah, they do. I mean, it was a commercial that made fun of this because it's actually a thing.
Really?
Right? Like, you know, you're working on whatever car you have, and wife brings you a little sandwich. You just pick up a sandwich and eat it. You got grease and whatever on the sandwich, and it helps build your immune system. And yeah, my dad had a friend who had an auto body shop, and yeah, you might rub it a little bit with the Gojo orange, but that doesn't clean everything.
Yeah,
it's just like surface clean.
So anyway, you want
to surface is what I want to clean.
Comment.
Well,
you can
still stuff in there.
The toll-free number is 855-450 free like freedom. So there were a bunch of reports on this one. I don't know if this is the best, but it's just to get the conversation started here from CNN. Once a cultural touchstone, Mad Magazine is halting the publication of new content and vanishing from newsstands. The seminal humor publication will no longer be available on newsstands after its August issue, according to a person familiar with the matter. After that, issues will only be available via comic book stores and subscriptions, the source said. However, that after this particular issue, they will not be making new content. So they're going to continue to reprint previous material, but adding new covers to it. The magazine will continue to publish its end-of-the-year special books and special collections. For how long, though, I guess that would be to
as
be
long
determined.
as they sell.
Well, no, until the subscriptions expire.
Is that right?
As my understanding of this news is that once they run out of subscriptions to sell, that's when the doors close. Right now, they got to fill all the subscriptions that are previously in place.
So rather than give money back to the customers for the amount of months that they're not going to be publishing new content, they're going to give them a bunch of repackaged stuff.
Right.
I imagine some of them are not going to be happy about that deal.
I've already read this Sergio Aragonés comic.
Can you believe he's still alive?
I couldn't believe it. I think you told me.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
He's still making new content for them.
People are still reading Spy versus, or
wasn't him.
looking at Spy versus Spy too. So
that wasn't his product.
I know it's not.
Okay. Who was that? Antonio Pro?
Oh, I don't know who did Spy versus Spy. I don't know.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But
I
anyway.
liked it because I didn't have to read.
I mean, did we all grow up with Mad Magazine? I know I did.
Yep.
As a kid in the 80s and the 90s.
I've seen them, never really read them.
Really?
Didn't have a subscription. I mean, it might have been like, the friend brings one to school and you look at his kind of a thing, but it wasn't really
I can't say I really read Mad Magazine at the ages that I was looking at Mad Magazine. It was more like, read the comics in Mad Magazine. And
yeah, it's mostly what it was, wasn't it?
No, there was definitely like political commentary in there.
Satire. Political satire.
A lot of satire.
Yeah, I skipped over that crap too.
Right, I totally skipped over that. So I bet if I actually went back and read it as an adult, it would be a completely different experience. Yeah. It might be even funnier. I don't know.
My son's got one about it's like a Star
newer
Wars
one.
It's not too old. It's a Star Wars special, and that's why I think he went to the store with his grandmother, saw a Mad Magazine cover with sort of a Star Wars theme, and I'm in, right? Yeah. And at our house, the rule is if he wants, we generally will buy a book if he wants it, and I think his grandmother didn't quite understand where that line might have been drawn, so she sends him back with this Mad Magazine, and he's just passionate about it. But he's never gotten another one.
Oh, okay, interesting.
He's just that one.
Now, that was something else they would satire is pop culture things, if I recall correctly. So, like, they probably did their own variant of Star Wars or something like that, which they must have done in the past at some point.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
See, and this is another weird thing about the article, right? It's a culturally iconic publication.
Yeah.
That's basically going out of business because it doesn't have a sustained customer base.
It's going out of business for the same reason, I presume. I mean, I haven't gotten to any details on what they have to say about it, but I presume it's going out because of the same reason a bunch of other magazines have gone under. It's just people don't buy these things anymore. They everything's online.
Right. Yeah, but here's what I don't understand is that so us talking about it, the very fact that we took the time to talk about it on the web comics all over the internet stopped today. Like a dozen web comics stopped this week on the internet. Okay? And we're not talking about them because
they don't have the impact.
They don't have the impact. That name, Mad Magazine, has value.
Sure it does.
Why would they
not sell
shut
it?
Their doors?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they just sell the company for whatever it's worth?
Well, part of that is I think it's a DC property now.
Okay.
It has been sold, and now the conglomerate organization
is deciding what's worth. It's parsing out what's worth something and what's not.
I believe so.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
The revered satirical publication was founded in 1952 as a comic book in 1955. So this is like as old as my parents are, basically. Yeah. In 1955, it switched to a magazine format. Former Mad editor Ali Gertz, who resigned last month, lamented that there will be no longer any new content after issue number 10. Quote, Mad is an institution with such a rich history, the editor tweeted, it informed just about every comedian and writer that you and I probably look up to. Weird Al Yankovic, who became Mad's first guest editor in 2015, also expressed sorrow on social media, writing, quote, I'm profoundly sad to hear that after 67 years, Mad Magazine is ceasing publication. He said, I can't begin to describe the impact it had on me as a young kid. It's pretty much the reason I turned out weird. Goodbye. Well, isn't that interesting? Like, he says goodbye to one of the all-time greatest American institutions, #thanks Mad. I mean, how many people did their style of comedy have an influence on? It's countless.
I would say it's countless, absolutely. But this is the problem with being a dead tree publication at this point. Comics are facing the same thing. Marvel is created Marvel Unlimited. And I'm sure DC has some competitor.
And what does that mean, unlimited?
So Marvel Unlimited is their online publication thing.
It's a subscription service?
Where you can get all the new comics and... I mean, I don't have a number to spit out.
This is like the Netflix of comics where you just pay a fee and then you get access to all of them?
Some large percentage of all the Marvel comics ever made is available.
So it goes back in history?
Yes.
Wow.
As I understand it, you can read every Avengers on there.
Wow.
And that would...
Superman number 1?
I can tell you this. When I was 12 years old, I bought Avengers 232 or something like that, 233. And so if they had kept publishing every month after that, you can start doing the math. I'm 48 now, and that was when I was 12. So,
and how much per month are they charging for this archival and brand new
It's $60 a year, I think.
Wow, that's really cheap.
It's cheap, but think about this for a second.
They're cutting out all the middlemen,
You
too.
go to Comic Boom over here in Keene, New Hampshire, and you buy a brand new comic, it's going to be $2 for that magazine.
New?
Yeah.
I thought comics were like $5 now, but I don't know.
Well, some of them are.
Okay. So they're still selling as cheap as 2, brand new?
Yeah, I would say 2 is still a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it seems unusually cheap. I mean, then again, I don't know what the business
You're getting
is.
much better paper than you used to get, but for a kid who used to pay 50 cents for a comic, no, I don't consider that a good deal.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But they've gotten, some of them gotten thinner. The ads aren't there like they used to be, so they don't have that subsidy in that way.
So they figured out a way to pivot to the digital age, Marvel, it sounds like. But Mad Magazine, they are, they're not saying they're closing their doors just yet, but this sure does seem like that's the next step. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. Apparently, DC did not immediately respond to a request for comment by CNN. There's more coming up. This is Free Talk Live. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit anarchadelphia.com.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
This is the Onion Week in Review. Allentown, Pennsylvania 5-year-old Trisha Billings announced from her dining room Saturday that the circle was no longer her favorite shape. The landmark declaration comes just days after the 5-year-old changed her favorite color from red to purple. While experts have struggled to determine what Billings' interim favorite shape will be, the 5-year-old assured reporters that the majority of her favorite things will remain consistent for the time being. Disney executives revealed in an interview Friday that all of the company's animated and live-action movies take place in a single unified universe, saying Never Never Land is actually mere minutes away from the jungle where Timon, Pumbaa, and Simba danced in a straight line and sang Hakuna Matata. Company heads stated that every character from Air Bud to Jiminy Cricket all inhabit the same interconnected world, just as Walt Disney envisioned it.
A lot of people don't know this, but Daryl Hannah's character in Splash actually lives in the exact same coral reef where Nemo went missing. And if filmmakers so desired, they could have Princess Jasmine, for example, hop into Herbie Fully Loaded to go watch the Jonas Brothers 3D concert experience.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it! You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Is Mad Magazine closing down entirely? Well, according to the different reports out there, it looks like it will be, quote, effectively shutting down, at least according to Rolling Stone's version of the story here, where they're going to pull the product from newsstands. You will no longer be able to. What few newsstands still remain?
Right.
You will no longer be able to find Mad Magazine.
I find that a tragedy. Wait, where's the where's the newsstand?
Where's your nearest newsstand?
Barnes and Noble.
They shut down, didn't they?
I think they.
And it was Borders. It was Borders that closed. Right.
Oh, there isn't a Barnes and Noble in the town in which I live.
There used to be a Borders here, though. They're gone now.
Oh yeah, there did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gone. Well, the whole chain closed.
Well, and Barnes and Noble didn't snap up the mall
space. They sure didn't. It was the same shopping center also lost to Circuit City shortly before that as well. So,
right.
I mean,
they took a hit.
These are signs of the times, that's for sure. If you want to join us here, the toll-free number is 855-450-FREE.
They also lost a Blockbuster.
Tragic.
Not from the same shopping center.
Yes, they did. That was that one right. Yeah,
no,
in Keene, just across there. Then
there was one in Keene, and there isn't now.
It was on Key Road.
No, the Blockbuster was right out here by the studio, not far.
Okay.
Is that one last Blockbuster still open? Do you know?
In Bend, Oregon. No, the Alaska one's closed. There's only one left, as of earlier this year. It was in Bend, Oregon.
If I had my computer open, I'd look and see what's happening with MySpace.
So this is all brought to you by local.bitcoin.com. They are definitely open, and you can go there right now and buy and sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods. Some of them are riskier than others, so keep that in mind as you get into it. Visit local.bitcoin.com. Now, of course, if you're buying from somebody that's got some reputation, that's not as risky as buying from somebody that doesn't have any reputation whatsoever. So you can keep that in mind, too. In fact, Arya, who's our Monday night co-host, Nobody, who is another co-host of ours, they're both active sellers on the site. I've got some ads up there, too. Go to local.bitcoin.com, and you can get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Important to note, local.bitcoin.com respects your privacy. There's no ID requirement to sign up for the site. And they actually encrypt the communications between buyers and sellers. So there's important differences between their site and some other sites that try to do what they do.
Yeah, the other thing about this is that purchase is a smart contract. Now,
that's right.
Somebody may scam you because they scammed you, but they wouldn't be able to scam the local .bitcoin.com folks.
Well, one thing's for sure. They can't scam you if you're buying, let's say, and you pay attention. You have to make sure that the seller puts the coin into escrow before you pay them. Because once the coin's in escrow, as long as you can prove you made the payment, the dispute resolution will resolve in your favor. But one of the scam attempts that you'll come across is somebody. I did this today. I tried to buy from somebody using PayPal on there, and they're like, "Here's my PayPal address. Send it on." And I said, "Yeah, sure. As soon as you put the coin into escrow, I'm happy to send it to you." Never got a response from the person. So they're just hoping that you'll go ahead and send, the money to them before they put the coin in the escrow, because then they have nothing at risk and they can just walk away.
And they will.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
So do your due diligence either way.
You got to pay attention.
Protect yourself
when you're doing this stuff. Local.bitcoin.com. All right, so let's continue here. We got Makona on the line. Makona 512 is on our Discord server. Go ahead.
Hello. I wanted to comment on actually previous topics. I just changed subjects on this, but basically it has to do with the gun stats and why I feel it's misleading when someone's only focuses on gun deaths, because that's typically used of people who are pushing gun control to actually obfuscate what's going on.
Right. I don't know what the numbers are, but there's like 7 times as many gun deaths as there are gun homicides, right?
Yes, but it's not just that. It's like one thing that they'll usually do is compare. They won't compare like a state or country longitudinally. So for example, they won't compare the stats before and after a specific gun law went into effect. But typically what happens, like when you look at those longitudinal studies, like for example, Crime Preventive Research Center does a bunch of them, you'll see that once they pass like a really strict gun law that basically only serves to really disarm the law-abiding people, what happens is violent crime typically skyrockets, including murders. So you get more murders. And overall, the gun deaths will go down, but then more people are actually dying, more people being victimized, more homes are being broken into, and just more violent crime in general. So no one's actually safer. They're actually less safe. But they now have a number that they can promote saying, hey, we passed this gun control law and now the gun crime has dropped. But really, the only thing that's really dropped was the suicides, when the people who are suicidal just move on to something else.
Right. Now they're taking pills. Sucking on
But people
exhaust
then
pipes
have
or
a more
something.
difficult time owning a gun at all to legally defend themselves from crime, and so therefore crime rates can go up because of that.
Yeah, it's like, for example, like in Hawaii, like they actually passed like a number of really strict gun laws to a point where they had a period of years where not a single permit was issued. Basically, no one could qualify.
Wow.
It got to such a bad state that they actually took it to court, which they're under the Ninth Circuit jurisdiction, and even the Ninth Circuit sided against Hawaii and said that, like, yeah, they went too far.
Well, I mean, there's
And
many
during
states
that
out
time
there that
period.
basically only offer, licenses to security guards, cops, and military.
New York's one of those places.
Yeah,
right?
basically. So, I mean, they might as well be not offering it to citizenship.
Yeah, basically in New York City, you can get a permit, but you can only get like a premise permit, and that usually like for me it took about like a little over a year to get one.
Oh wow! Meaning that
But-
you can't take it out of your house, kind of thing.
Yes, you can't take it out of your house.
Can you even like
That
transport it
process-
to a shooting range in some legal way, or no?
You can.
It's like, how do you move?
But then it's under like a guilty until proven innocent kind of system. Like if you get caught with it, you got to prove that you were somehow going to a range.
Unloaded, locked in a case, locked in the trunk of your vehicle during transport.
People in New York
Yeah,
City
that's a
don't have
requirement,
trunks.
and then you got to also have proof of that.
Yeah.
So wait, how do you move from one house to another or one apartment to another? Just kind of got to roll the dice and hope that you can get not pulled over while that's happening?
Pretty much. They're
Or
actually
do you
trying
have the
take
right
that
to bring it from
court
one
now.
premise to another premise?
Yeah, you're basically not allowed to. Like they're actually taking that to the Supreme Court.
Wow.
Because of how restrictive that is.
To the New York Supreme Court or the new the U.S.?
The federal Supreme
Okay.
Court, like Supreme Court of the U.S.
Shall
mainly
not be
because of how
infringed,
restrictive-
ladies and gentlemen. Shall not be infringed.
These poor New York gun owners, man. All
If
they
that
got to
were
do.
true.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
All they got to do is move, a couple hours to the east, and then all their gun problems would be solved.
Yeah.
But no, they want to fight all the way to the Supreme Court because they just love New York that much.
Well, if you live in New York City, a lot of times you can't do the work you
That's
do
true. That's true.
remotely
Financial
or
industry.
whatever. I mean, if you're working in the garment district or you're on Madison
Yeah.
Ave or something like that, what are you going to do?
Or working at Mad Magazine. Hey, thanks, Makona. Appreciate hearing from you. Of course, they're not there anymore, right? Didn't you say they moved offices? Mad Magazine.
Yeah, Mad Magazine, I think, moved to Los Angeles within the last couple of years. Their
So,
headquarters.
a little bit more about the beginning of the end for Mad Magazine. Some would argue the beginning of the end was actually when they cut back to every other month publication rather than doing it once a month. 855, 450, free like freedom, or when they started accepting advertising. Apparently, that was something they started in the early aughts. Previously, it was subscriptions focused only. More coming up. Free Talk Live.
You're not a wild animal, and you shouldn't be tagged and tracked like one. Where you go and what you do every minute of the day, tracked and recorded by your mobile phone, is often more revealing than your browser history. And tech companies make a fortune selling your location history without your consent. GoDark bags prevent location tracking and protect your privacy by instantly blocking all cell phone, GPS, and Wi-Fi signals to your mobile device. Plus, they're durable, water-resistant, and built for a lifetime of protection. Visit GoDarkbags.com/FTL. That's GoDarkbags.com/FTL.
Business owners, you want more customers? Accept cryptocurrencies. There's people all around you just waiting to spend money at your store. If only you would take it. I know, you've been waiting till someone else makes it easy. Well, good news. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com adds Bitcoin to your point of sale, totally free. Use the same equipment you already have, now with Bitcoin. And unlike credit cards, there's no fees. Let the guys at HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com bring new customers to your store. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadati.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
The Shire Free Church offers a sanctuary to those seeking an escape from state churches.
The Shire Free Church is an interfaith, diverse group of people that may not share identical theological beliefs. As a member in or minister of the Shire Free Church, you are a sovereign individual and may be the faith of your choice.
We don't claim to have all of the answers.
We are open to all peaceful people.
We want to learn from each other.
What unifies the Shire Free Church and its diverse members is peace,
love, and liberty. There are many paths to God, one for every individual.
The Shire Free Church does not define a specific path beyond those parameters that must be your foundation.
Peace as your way,
love as your guide,
and liberty as your light.
Learn more at church.shiresociety.com.
That's church.shiresociety.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything that you want here. We've been talking about the cultural death of Mad Magazine. A big influence on a lot of people in the Generation X and maybe even the Boomers, I guess, right? In their generations. It started back in the early 1950s as a comic book, became a magazine in 1955, and now they're basically winding the thing down, it seems like.
It's too offensive for this generation.
Yeah, you've got to be as old as my mother to really sort of hate Mad Magazine.
To not know or to dislike Mad, you mean?
She disliked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can share more about that with you. Also, you can join us online over at freetalklive.com. We do have a forum for Free Talk Live listeners where you can interact with other Free Talk Live listeners. It's free. Go to forum.freetalklive.com. That's forum.freetalklive.com. Let's go to Scott. He's in Missouri, listening in Hannibal to KHMO. Hello, Scott.
Hey, when you guys were talking earlier about being unwashed,
yeah.
I have some case scenarios for that.
All right.
Okay, well, so I spent 13 years in the Army infantry, right? And so one day I got up, put on my, took a shower, shaved, brushed my teeth, put on my clothes, and went to work. And went to the woods, and 13 days later, I came out of the woods the same way. I never took off a piece of clothing. I never did anything to my mouth or washed. And when I got in the car with my wife, she said I smelled like a Yeti.
So that wasn't a compliment then.
No, and I don't think my wife has ever saw a Yeti before, but that was kind of what I did. For
You smell
13
like
days,
a leprous yak. Hold on here. I get that the infantry sleeps in holes, and obviously you guys have to go out for days on end into the woods because sometimes that's where fighting goes on. And traditionally, that's where fighting's going on. But what about a toothbrush? I mean, surely they give you some kind of pack for a toothbrush. I mean, the value of brushing your teeth, like, you don't need toothpaste to make toothbrushing valuable. You can get the crud off your teeth with just a toothbrush. They don't.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. No, and nothing against the establishment. This was my bad. I mean, the establishment enforces that you carry your toothbrush, your toothpaste, your razor, your shaving cream, and an extra change of clothes, like a dozen pair of socks.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like 18, 19 years old. I didn't care, you know. And I just when you work, 20 hours a day, you don't want to spend your 4 hours of sleep time.
Yep.
Hygiene time.
Yep.
You just go sleep.
You're just around a bunch of other guys anyway, so whatever.
Right. You really go nose blind because you don't even smell the other people.
Right.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Yeah. But the enemy can find you just by the way you stink.
Just don't be downwind.
Well,
hopefully they stink the same way.
But what if you live in like a commune where no one bathes, or like a co-op where they just they all poop in buckets? So you kind of go nose blind, so no one smells. So you don't really have an offensive thing to another person.
Well, now, just to be clear, you were in the same set of clothes for 13 days. The people that we're talking about earlier, just for listeners just tuning in, we had this in our first hour-long discussion about people
It's a great story, by the way.
Yeah, people who
who
don't use soap. That was sort of the focus of the story. Many of them do step into the shower. They do have hot water. They may scrub, but they're not using soap, which is completely different. Presumably, they're putting on fresh clothes after that and laundering their clothes. Maybe they're not. Whether or not they're using soap in their laundry, in their clothes laundry is another question. But you, Scott, had the same set of clothes on for 13 days. Were sweating in that same set of clothes. That is one of the reasons why you would be much more offensive, I think, than these other people.
Well, and even going back to the article, part of it was the ammonia and on the microbiome, whatever, that the content of that on the skin. So even the guy in the article wasn't able to remove the smell without using products. And that's why he created the natural product to help with the smell.
Gotcha.
So cleanliness and smell are not necessarily hand in hand, even in the article.
Scott, anything else you want to share about your experience?
Well, that brings me to my second story. So then, years later, I retired out of the Army, and my wife starts her own business, and I wound up working at home a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you don't go to, and we're 9 miles away from a town, so you're working at home, do you need to shower? Do you need, obviously brushing the teeth, that's a big deal because those mistakes cost me with gum, receding. So anyway, But anyway, so if you, like you said, a fresh set of clothing, you live in a normal house, you just, but when you get up and go to work, you're going to be working in that same house. So I did notice
underwear,
that
probably?
No. We had to deal with people. But, but I did notice that overuse, because I thought, well, I didn't take a shower today. I have to see someone, so I better put on more deodorant. Antiperspirant. The aluminum in the antiperspirant would put black stains in your cloth of your shirt. So if you overuse, instead of just normal use, and I found the same thing. If you scrub with water, you do quite well. Even if you don't. And so if you overuse a product, you do a disservice to yourself. Or if you don't wash it all, right? Obviously, we talked about that. But yeah, just if you see something muddy on you, wipe it off with water, and wash your clothes, and
I've heard bad things about antiperspirant versus deodorant, that because there's just more bad chemicals or something in the antiperspirant. Like, why would you want to stop yourself from perspiring?
I've heard all that. I did at one point do that, the salt thing that you rub up underneath your armpit to kill the bacteria. Are you familiar with this? Okay, well, there's this natural thing out there that you can use instead of deodorant, which is basically a salt block that you rub up underneath your armpits, and it makes for an atmosphere that is not hospitable to those particular bacteria or whatever. They come back, but more or less, you're still... If you did, you basically have to do that twice a day, and there's no blocking of the sweat. I did that for a few years and then decided, I like my antiperspirant. So I went back.
Mm-hmm.
And
do you still use antiperspirant today?
I use antiperspirant today. Yeah, sure.
Scott, well, the thing is, I think if you apply it and then you shower and remove it and then reapply, you never get like a stain level. But if you just apply it in lieu of showering, you could like really put some black stains on your clothes.
Thanks for the heads up and sharing your experience with us tonight, Scott. I appreciate it. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. David is in New Mexico, listening via the TuneIn app. Go ahead, David.
Actually, on KENN, Ken, out of Farmington, Four Corners, New Mexico.
Oh, you're listening on KENN. Excellent. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I have talked to a number of horses after they have rolled in the dirt. They didn't even know what microbes were.
Of course. Did you ask Mr. Ed? He might be able to tell you.
No, it was a cousin of Ed's. Ed actually had passed on, but it was a cousin.
Francis.
All right, what else you got, David?
The cop thing, but since you're on that subject, with the pits thing, I have noticed that in support of what that guy was saying, that if you you wake up in the morning, you shower the day before using soap, including the pits. You wake up in the morning somewhere around noon, you haven't hit the shower yet. You start to smell a little bit. You take a shower, it takes care of it for another day. But if you don't get a chance to shower, I noticed that a few hours later, the smell starts to go away, supporting the argument that the bad bacteria are causing the scent, and then a few hours later, the good bacteria are battling back the bad bacteria.
But how do you get the good bacteria back if you've washed it away? Don't you have to use some kind of product?
Well, it might be different for the dude that said his wouldn't come back, but mine seems to come back on a daily basis, the good bacteria. A few hours later, you
just
wash it off.
Got a strong biome.
Yeah, I roll around in the dirt with the horses.
Speaking of dirt, you got a dirty cop story for us, right?
Yeah. This one's worth looking up because there's a very fun picture to look at.
Oh,
it's a KRQE television story that you can find on the internet, and it. Let me look at it right here. It says the headline is. So you can find it when you do your search. No, it's not coming up, so I'll fake it. It's coming up slowly. Former chief of police of Hagerman, former police chief, 4 others accused of sexually exploiting Chavez County.
Oh, boy.
Teens.
Hang on. It's Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep REM sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com or call 800-870-0305 and use promo code GCN. That's mypillow.com or 800-870-0305 with promo code GCN.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Moments remain here. Enough time for you. We'll dial in right now. Our number is 855-450, free like freedom. It's 855-450-3733. Whether you want to comment on hygiene or the beginning of the end for Mad Magazine.
It's kind of like the end of the end at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the way it's looking. It's not good.
The death rattle.
Yeah. Toll-free number tonight is 855-450-FREE. And don't forget about the Free Talk Live AMP program. I do want to say thank you to Libertariat, who is a Free Talk Live Platinum amplifier, meaning Libertariat contributes way above what we request. We only ask $5 a month. He's doing $25 a month at least
thank you,
to be a platinum. So thank you for that over at amp.freetalklive.com. That is the AMP program, advertise, market, and promote. It's a way to help support what we do here on Free Talk Live. It's amp.freetalklive.com. As we go back to David in New Mexico, you've got a story about another corrupt police chief. Tell me about it, David. What happened?
Yeah, once the corrupt is right. Once again, under the heading that the special agent in charge of the New Mexico region, FBI, says that New Mexico is the most corrupt state in the nation, and they prove it on a regular basis. And once again, this is payback to the state of New Mexico. Those of you listening through KENN for the state of New Mexico illegally trafficking my children. I proved it with a unanimous decision at your New Mexico Court of Appeals, in case you want to doubt me. But anyway, this guy his name is Cassius Mason, goes by Cass. He's 66, the former chief of police of Hagerman.
His mama named him Cassius. His name Cassius.
Cassius, yeah, yep. And this is
it's a white guy, by
New
the way.
Mexico.
It doesn't matter to me. That's the quote from, I can't remember what it was. It Coming to America where Eddie Murphy did that? They were talking about Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali.
And this is in as they pronounce it, New Mexico, Chaves County. And the date line comes out of it's in New Mexico. They say Roswell, not Roswell, but Roswell. And what this guy did, and like I said, this thing is worth looking up because there's a photograph of the 5 mugshots of the 5 dudes that had some interaction with this girl who was 15.
So hold on, this wasn't just the police chief. This was other officers in the department and the police chief. So this was like a conspiracy to molest a teenager.
Well, there seems like there's something, yes and no. It seems like there's something going on because there's 5 dudes that all had something with her. One is a police chief, a former police chief. Mm-hmm. Another one is a current or former, I think former school custodian that may have met her at the school. And the other 3 dudes are just civilians. But the thing that's worth pulling up about the article, that KRQE article, is that there's 2 articles. One of them has the mugshots. There's 5 mugshots, and the guy in the middle of the composite mugshot, the day that he took his mugshot, he's wearing a T-shirt that has some words on it. The only one you can read is the one that says across his chest, "Busted."
Busted. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that here. All right. So what is the accusation here against the police chief?
The police chief arranged to give one of his cell phones to the 15-year-old girl. Once again, she's old enough to have sex, just not legally with him, since he's 66. And he's a police chief, retired, so he knows better. He gave the girl a cell phone, and then they had sexual back and forth until her mom found the phone.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh, yep. So, anyhow.
Wow. Yeah, I do have the story pulled up here. It's relatively short. They don't give you a whole lot of information. But, David, thank you for the call tonight. I appreciate it. And he has been sentenced at this point. He's now 68 years old. Cassius Mason, sentenced on Monday after, this was last week, after the former Hagerman police chief pleaded no contest to child solicitation by electronic device. Let's see here. According to the sentence, it appears to have been a 6-year prison sentence, but it was suspended. So, no time.
Well, that's pretty nice because he doesn't want to have to go do that.
Yeah.
So David calls in quite frequently about corrupt politics or corrupt police in Mexico. But every time he calls in, they seem to be doing something positive to solve that problem. Right? Someone got busted, someone's doing this.
You only find out about these stories when something happens, right? Okay. Like if the police chief had given her a cell phone and mom hadn't caught it, then who knows where that would have led. But if nothing had been said to mother or mother hadn't found out about it, it probably would have been, he would have gotten away with it.
So what you will find is that there's this sort of professional courtesy, especially for a variety of crimes. A lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times, police will give police a pass for, say, drunk driving.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Certainly for tickets and that kind of thing. I can tell you, as a firefighter, having that helmet sit in the back seat of my car, it really doesn't seem to be a problem as far as getting tickets for a long time.
Just don't jump out of the car and tell the cop to run your plates, because that doesn't go over real well if you're a judge.
Yeah, there's every once in a while you'll find a good story where some judge or politician steps over, and at that point, you're what they're doing is they're trying to flex on the cop. The cop understands it's their prerogative one way or the other. But when these people act like they want to flex on them, then the cop's going to, and by flex, I mean flexing their political muscle or whatever. The cop's not scared. He's got nothing to lose by running the president of the United States or whomever in on a ticket. So, don't pretend like you're in charge in a situation where you're not, is what I would say. But all cops dislike sex crimes.
Okay.
And so it doesn't much more likely that you're going to get run up the flagpole if you're doing something with a 15-year-old. These people have girls, and they don't like the idea of some 66-year-old dude propositioning their 15-year-old daughter, so they figure they don't like the idea of them doing somebody else's.
Thank you, David, for the call tonight here. Let's go to a different David. This one is in San Francisco. David, you're on Free Talk Live. Hello.
Oh, yeah, howdy.
Yes, sir.
A bunch of different things are going on at once, and I think I've told you before that I believe that Trump is organized crime, and that his motivations are not political. His motivations are criminal. And, he acts as a hired gun in some certain cases. So, say, for example, these raids down in Mississippi, the 650 people, well, it turns out that they were really trying to bust a union, right? So
who's been raided?
There was a
immigration raid.
Yeah, immigration raid that picked up over 600 people.
Oh my!
In Mississippi, but then let over half of them go afterwards.
Good. They should let them all go.
Well, and so the point was these were three or four different packing plants, and one of them actually is named Coke, but apparently it's not owned by the Cokes. Now, I can't imagine the Koch family not suing to have control of that name, but I'm surprised at that one. But that's kind of beside the point.
Coke's
One
kind
of
of
these
a
packing
common
plants,
name.
Well, one of these packing plants had been had just gone union. They won a great lawsuit because the company was like Mississippi, just a creepy, using cops and spies and intimidation to make sure that nobody can become union. And so the company lost a huge legal settlement and had to pay back the people that they had intimidated and strong-armed and whatnot. And so, bam, all of a sudden, the raid happens, trying to wipe out the membership.
So wait, are you suggesting that this company actually wanted to be raided?
Yeah, they dropped a dime on themselves. You know, it's actually famous up in, let's see, there's Foster Farms.
To bust the union. Ian looks confused. To bust the
No,
union.
I understand what he's claiming. I'm not confused about what he's claiming, but that would also bust their business up pretty bad because if you lose half of your employees... Huh?
No administration of that company got arrested, yet they had enough cops to take away 650 people. And apparently, you know, I've worked in theater management, right, theater planning, and so, you know, you got a backstage to take care of and the loading in equipment and the audience control and all sorts of different functions. They raid 680 people or something. They had no plans for kids. They had no plans. But all of the management of ICE for an operation is one of the biggest in the history of America, and they had no plans for anything.
Well, that's typical government. I mean, they just suck at everything they do. They're not any good at taking care of people. They're not. They were doing raids under Obama, okay? So this hasn't changed.
You got to look at Trump as being a slumlord.
They're all the same, dude. Trump's no different from Obama. Yeah, I know you have your beliefs about that. Well, you can keep saying no, they're not over and over again, but they both are in charge of the largest criminal organization on the planet. It's the U.S. federal government.
There are certainly plenty of raids going on under Obama.
Yeah, and they will use it for political purposes, that's for sure. But I don't see how taking out half of an entire workforce is going to stop a union. They unionized, and in most places you're forced to be in the union. So that means the remaining half are probably still in that union, and now they're just having to work twice as hard. There's more coming up here tomorrow night. Join us online in the meantime at freetalklive.com. We'll see you then.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,497. Silver at $17.06, and Bitcoin is trading around $11,887. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, child sex trafficking victim Centonia Brown was released from prison Wednesday. A development welcomed by human rights advocates who said her case underscores the need to fix the nation's criminal justice system. Now 31 years old, Brown was originally sentenced to life in prison for killing one of the men who solicited her for sex when she was a 16-year-old child. The Mind Unleashed reports that in January, then-Governor Bill Haslam of Tennessee commuted her sentence, following pressure from human rights groups, thousands of Americans who signed petitions and wrote letters, and celebrities who helped bring attention to her case. Brown spent more than 14 years behind bars. Brown, in a statement, said she looks forward to using, quote, my experiences to help other women and girls suffering abuse and exploitation, end quote. Though now out of prison, Brown is still under state control. She will be on parole for 10 years. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A 13-year-old boy was seriously injured after a man attacked him for not removing his hat during the national anthem at a county fair and rodeo in Montana, resulting in a fractured skull for the young boy. The Mind Unleashed reports that 39-year-old Kurt James Brockway launched his assault on the boy out of a belief that the boy had supposedly disrespected the national anthem. That's according to the Missoulian. The man was arrested and charged with assault on a minor for the attack that occurred at the Mineral County Fair and Rodeo. Taylor Hennick, a rodeo attendee, said she had just paused for the national anthem before hearing a sudden pop and then noticed a child bleeding out of his ears, seizing on the ground. As outraged bystanders quickly began surrounding Brockway, the man attempted to justify the assault by saying that, quote, the boy was disrespecting the national anthem by wearing this hat, end quote. The boy was airlifted for hospital treatment in Washington, where he received treatment for temporal skull fractures. The rapid and dangerous decline of the insect population in the United States, often called an insect apocalypse by scientists, has largely been driven by an increase in the toxicity of U.S. agriculture caused by the use of pesticides. That's according to a study published Tuesday. The study found that American agriculture has become 48 times more toxic to insects over the past 25 years and pinned 92% of the toxicity increase on the pesticides, which were banned by the European Union last year due to the threat they pose to bees and other pollinators. The Mind Unleashed reports that Kendra Klein, Ph.D., study co-author and senior staff scientist at Friends of the Earth, said the United States must follow Europe's lead and ban the toxic pesticides before it's too late. According to National Geographic, they attack the central nervous system of insects, causing overstimulation of their nerve cells, paralysis, and death. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat. Reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. The latest edition of The Lava Flow is next on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Get more at thelavaflow.com.
Welcome to Essential Libertarianism. Selected readings from voluntarist.com. Essential Libertarianism is voluntarism. Let's reclaim the anti-political heritage of this philosophy together. The essays and books we read in this show will bring us closer to the state-free voluntary society that we desire. Let's begin the journey.
You must voluntarily comply. Permission to use granted by Ben Garrison. We do not need an income tax. The Federal Reserve does not need your income taxes. They can print as much money as they like. What they do need is your obeisance. They need their slaves to genuflect and pay their respects in the form of a voluntary income tax. They require citizens to spend endless man-hours filling out forms they don't understand and wasting their hard-earned money in order to pay tribute to their globalist masters. The reason the tax code is so bloated? That's intentional. They don't want it to be understood. Nearly everyone who tries to take deductions can be proved to be criminals of a sort because few can understand the code. We're all guilty until proven innocent, and the IRS can seize accounts without due process. That's tyranny. They call it a voluntary tax. Try not volunteering. They might seize your bank accounts. They can take your stuff. They may send their representatives to your door to arrest you and cart you off to prison. If you resist, they can murder you. Just something to think about as you flush away your money to criminal banksters.
Thank you for listening to Essential Libertarianism. You can check out the archives of all of our episodes at essentiallibertarianism.com. And you can subscribe to future episodes on any podcatcher, including Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, and more. This has been a Pax Libertas Productions podcast.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM. The latest edition of The Tatiana Show is next on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Get more at TatianaMoroz.com.
You are listening to The Tatiana Show. This show may contain adult content, language, and humor and is intended for mature audiences. If that's not you, please stop listening. Nothing you hear on The Tatiana Show is intended as financial advice, legal advice, or really anything other than entertainment. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Oh, and if you're listening to us on an affiliate network, the ideas and views expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the network that you're listening on or of any sponsors or any affiliate products you may hear about on this show. Now that that's squared away, let's start the show.
Hey there, it's time for the show. The Tatiana Show, where you make friends and talk life and crypto.
SALT offers cash loans collateralized by Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. When you apply for a loan with SALT, there are no income checks, no credit checks, and no origination fees. If you choose to have your loan funded in stablecoin, including USDC, TrueUSD, or PAX, you may not even need a bank account. SALT offers comprehensive insurance for your collateral assets and keeps them locked in deep cold storage, where they are protected by a robust multi-sig process for the duration of your loan. With SALT's online platform or mobile app, you can track the health of your loan or make deposits and payments on the go. You can also pay back as much as you want, whenever you want, and wrap up your loan at any time. There are no prepayment penalties. Once your loan has been paid back, your assets are returned to you. Visit saltlending.com/Tatiana to sign up for an account and start exploring your options today. saltlending.com/Tatiana. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tatiana Show. Today, I'm joined with Josh Shigala out in Berlin. Hey, Josh, how's it going?
Hey, Tatiana, it's going wonderfully. Yeah, thank you.
And we're going to be talking with Michelle Ray, who I've worked with at Crypto Media Hub. But before I bring her on, I wanted to talk to you, Josh, because something very exciting happened the past few days in your life. Would you like to tell our audience?
Oh, yes. I finally, after 20 years, I married the girl I love. And we went up to Denmark and hitched up. And then I took the certificate of marriage and we took a selfie and we hashed that into the Bitcoin blockchain so that we hopefully in the future don't have to pay for lawyers and notaries and stuff like that to prove anything. We can just say, look, there it is, time-stamped, and here's the original, hasn't changed.
How did you do that? Can anybody do it?
Yeah, anyone can do it. I used proofofexistence.com, and basically, uploaded a hash there. And I then, if you go to a SHA-256 hash website, there's plenty of them. You can upload the same picture just to check that the same hash gets generated, and it will. And what is a hash is for another subject, I guess. But it's basically a fingerprint of data. So even if one little pixel changes in that image, you'll get a totally different hash out of that magic box, and that means that no one has ever fiddled with a picture or even resaved it, because the pixels are exactly the same.
Wow, that's pretty wild. Are you going to come onto Proof of Love and talk about getting married? You guys should do that. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Very good. So what's going on over at Vaultoro? Any action?
Oh, lots of stuff. We're developing Vaultoro 2.0 still. We're about to launch Vault Token, which is like a kind of a club membership, kind of like BNB, gives you discounts on trading and stuff like that. So this is very exciting. So anyone that joins up to Vaultoro now will be airdropping those down onto them. So definitely go and take that opportunity. Vaultoro.com. That's VAULTORO.com, and start trading between Bitcoin and physical gold bullion.
That sounds good. All right. Well, I don't know. Why don't we talk to Michelle? Michelle, how's it going? Nice to have you on the show.
I know. This has taken a really long time. I don't know why we didn't do this before.
That's a very good question. We've actually known each other for a very long time. Have you ever met Josh, by the way, or no?
No, I haven't.
Well,
Yeah,
here
I
we
think
are.
must have passed in the corridors.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. So I used to go to conferences all the time. And lately I've been so busy and that I barely get to go to any of this stuff anymore. I live vicariously through everybody who gets to travel.
Yeah, well, I've pulled back on conferences as well. Last year and the year before was insane, but I've just really knuckled down and focusing on development now. And I think a lot of people are getting like that. The old joke of the killer app for blockchain is conferences, but I think people are getting a bit bored of that.
Well, I think it's actually kind of funny because I know Tatiana and I were talking about the things we wanted to discuss today, and I'm kind of a marketer by trade, and conferences for me were always that double-edged sword. Like, it was such a great way to meet people who were in the same space and super passionate, but you were really paying for a great vacation and to hang out in an echo chamber. So I always had that. I was always really kind of ambivalent, like, are conferences worth doing?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. And the echo chamber thing is very, very true.
Yeah, but I also think that you can build a lot of different relationships by going to conferences. I feel like that's been very good for me, but I'm also a little bit more social than the average person. And I think that really brings us to what we're going to talk about. Michelle, if you could give our audience a little background about, what you've been doing in this space, and also your background in the political world. And then maybe we could talk about how the crypto marketing space has changed and what you're seeing, and maybe some tips for different companies that are listening, CEOs, entrepreneurs that are interested to get a little bit of insight. So yeah, I'd love it if you could tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, sure. So I've actually kind of been aware of crypto since late 2012. It was my father who introduced me to Bitcoin, and immediately fell in love with it, but I didn't really get the opportunity to do anything in the space until 2014. I was hanging out on Twitter doing what I do, and I got a private message from Paul Pui. I know he's a regular guest on the show with Edge Wallet, Airbits at the time, who said, hey, would you be interested in doing some social media work for a crypto wallet? And at the time, the only experience I had with crypto wallets was actually, the Bitcoin wallet. And I thought, my gosh, there is no way I'm going to take social media and be able to explain to people and get them excited about downloading this thing and syncing a blockchain that takes like 40 hours. But he sent me the SDK for Airbits, and I was instantly in love with the ease of use. And so I agreed to see what I could do on social media for them. So that is kind of how I got into marketing, specifically social media. Prior to that, I had been that really crazy very politically active libertarian who was talking about this digital currency. And I had a really, really decent political following across the political spectrum because I'm an equal opportunity complainer about the two-party system. And, very few people paid any attention at all to my tweets about Bitcoin early on. And, early on I was tweeting at Bitcoin and it was like $50. And I'm like, you guys really need to get in on this. It's going to change the world. And of course, when it hit 200, a few people were like, so tell me more about Bitcoin, which was, and that was kind of the pivotal thing for me. It wasn't so much the price of Bitcoin rising. I'm a true believer and not technically an investor, but it was the realization that there was just this wide, empty desert of information out there for the average person when it came to Bitcoin and then later other digital currencies.
Yeah, and I feel like people are still saying, oh, it's too expensive now. So, so what are you involved with currently?
Yeah, so I work now full-time with a company called Permission. We are in this space of kind of fixing the way personal data is used online. It's a big deal. I mean, the listeners of your show are familiar with a lot of other projects like BAT, for instance, Basic Attention Token and Brave. There's a whole ecosystem in this kind of crypto marketing where people have begun to realize that their personal data, thanks to Facebook and Cambridge Analytica, is not only worth a fortune. Marketing for personal data is about a $21 billion a year trade when it comes to advertising, but also when it comes to things like politics, obviously, medical science and behavioral and data research, psychological data research. I mean, data is literally, something that's become a cliche. It's the new oil, and it is a commodity that should be, as far as Permission.io is concerned, in your control as much as possible, and making you the money and not some third-party data broker. So
what do you
we
think
are.
a person is worth?
Oh, priceless. People are priceless.
Good answer.
It is. It's true. I mean, I'm also a huge believer in the potential of people. I see it every day on social media. People that start with an idea and turn it into this amazing revolutionary thing. I couldn't be involved in Bitcoin and not say people and ideas are priceless. But when it comes to data mining and social media, I think and purchasing power and involvement in the data economy, I think it's almost impossible to say what the personal data you're sharing with all of these online mediums is worth. There are a lot of estimates out there, and they range from like $2.76 to $46 a year per person. I would argue that as somebody who's been on several sides of marketing, that the right contact for a very low cost, like a very targeted advertisement in any retail to politics, is almost priceless. If I want to change your vote, knowing everything I can and building a profile about you, like Cambridge Analytica